Welcome to the 362nd episode of the So Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we'll be talking about it. Today, we are recording on November 12th, 2023. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and I'm also 50% of this here show. With me is the man who's standing here with an exclamation mark floating over his head, Carlos Rodella.
I'm a real person. I'm not an NPC,
Nah,
I swear.
you're an NPC, bro.
I'm
you got
not.
that quest marker.
No. Wait,
Well,
quest
you're just
marker
very
on top
surprised.
of that?
Yeah, like you're sitting there, people stand there, and they got the little exclamation, the glowing yellow exclamation, or maybe a
Oh,
star
right.
above their head or something.
Yeah.
That's how you know he's the guy to talk to.
Yeah, well, you are supposed to talk to me.
I'm talking to you now. We're starting the quest.
Yeah, okay, the quest is podcast. Go.
Record a podcast. That's right. 500 XP at the end of it. We'll see.
Oh, yeah, how much XP would be for a podcast?
I mean, I feel like it should be a pretty good amount, but we've been doing it for a while, so even though it's a good amount, it's not really moving us too far to
Right.
the next level because diminishing gains, right?
Yeah, we're not leveling up from it, but we're still getting XP.
At first, it's like one podcast to gain a level, and now it's like we got to do like 100 podcasts to gain a level.
Wow, really?
Yeah, we're
Jeez.
pretty deep into it. We're pretty
All
far
right.
along. Yeah, I've got my ultimate is like I think up next on my skill tree, but we're not quite. there
Oh,
yet.
nice. Wait, we have skill trees too? This is getting complicated.
Welcome, folks. Welcome to the show. It's Carlos. It's me. We're here. Carlos, how you doing, sir?
I'm okay. I'm excited about talk about games for one thing because
Yeah.
I've been playing a fucking ton of them.
I'm glad you're excited because that's exactly what we're doing here today.
Oh, we're talking about games?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought we did a cooking podcast.
cooking podcast. We could do that. I've been
Cooking-
watching a lot of the Great British Bake Off.
Oh, yeah, and then the Halloween Wars for Halloween time. So,
Oh, yeah, exactly.
yeah, we
But,
can't really cook and then just have it be audio, though. I don't think that would work.
I mean, there'd be a lot of sizzling. A lot of hearing things bake. Whatever the sound of baking is, that's the sound of our podcast.
It's the sound of an oven and then the timer going off.
Yeah, okay.
That's what
All right.
that is.
Builds up a lot of suspense. Anyway, we're not doing a baking podcast. We're not doing a cooking podcast. We're doing a games podcast. And, sir, I share your excitement because there's actually a lot of things I'm excited to talk about. And I, not to spoil anything, it's been kind of a rough week in terms of games. So I don't think I have a lot of very excited celebratory news, but I do have a lot of stuff that I really kind of want to dig into. A lot of interesting bits to chew on. So, and we have a lot to talk about too. I know we kind of have been a little light as far as the agenda goes last couple of shows, but we're going to make up for that today with tons of stuff to talk about. So,
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm going to make it up for both of us for sure.
and then I'll make it up for the both of us on top of that.
Oh, you have these exact same amount of games as I do?
I think I have one less than you, but you've got a million, so I've got a million minus one.
Wow. Okay, never mind then. Let's get into it. We should do housekeeping first.
We should do housekeeping,
Can I
folks.
start it? Can I do it?
Yeah. Okay, do it. Go do it.
Because, I mean, it's a crowd favorite.
It is a crowd favorite. Let it rip.
All right, everybody, listen up. If you didn't know, this is the time where Brad and I go into a house that we both have. We have this house, and, we rent it together. And when we go inside, there's a duct tape on the ground, which is weird. And, I get up one side, he gets one side, and we keep all of our possessions over there. But they're not possessions. They're, things about video games, and we talk about them. So this is the section where we do that.
I love how you went into a voice like right off the bat.
I love voices. Come on.
That was very funny. That's right. All right.
You're like,
Sorry.
don't know what to do with that
You
now.
threw me for a minute. Yeah, you
I
threw me
know.
for a minute. Okay, it is housekeeping. We are doing this right here, right now. Carlos, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I'll follow up with what was from last week where you gave me some homework for my PlayStation.
I did. We were talking about the in-game help function, which was kind of a discussion that was kicked off by a new listener, Ron. And he asked us a question about what we thought about help functions. And he actually sent another email that I meant to get in this show, and I haven't. So apologies, Ron. I forgot to grab that, but I know you sent me another email. But I gave you the homework of, Carlos, why don't you go see how many games actually use this help function? Is it just triple A's, or are some of the smaller games doing it too? I really want to know.
Yeah, it's not just AAAs. It's also, I would say, if I have to give a number, it's probably like 30% is using it like, or even 25% or something like that is using it like hardcore, where there's like videos and walkthroughs. And yeah, I think the AAA has more resources they can put behind that. But I mean, even like indie games will do, on the PlayStation 5 again, you can hit the home button and see even things like trophies. You can see things like where you're at in the activity. They call them activities. And so it's basically like it says resume activity, which just reloads your game. But it is used in some way. It's just that it's used in different variations. And I think the smallest version is like it just keeps track of the main things, like trophies and things you've accomplished and chapters and stuff like that. But the other ones, some companies will spend time and actually make videos. It seems like, yes, it's bigger companies that are doing the videos, but I did see like some kind of AA studios using it as well. So It's actually used a lot more than I thought. I mean, even 25-30% is a lot of people using it on PlayStation. So, yeah, it's not the same all around, but it is used quite a bit.
Okay, so that's good. I haven't dipped into it at all, and I was pretty curious because it seems like something that would take a lot of time and resources, but I guess people are using it, so okay, right on.
Yeah, it's just a cool feature. And again, I don't know if Xbox has that specific thing, but I think that would be super helpful if they did.
Right on. Yeah, I didn't. I meant to go check it, but I don't think there is. I don't think there's anything as far as I know, and I know for sure Switch doesn't have anything. So, I guess if you're an Xbox or a Switch person, you got to hit GameFAQs or YouTube like everybody else.
Yeah, just a nice feature to have.
All right, cool. What else you got, sir?
Okay, so this is from John from Gaming in the Wild, who we like.
That's good friend John. Good show.
Yep, he posted. I was actually on Twitter, which I don't ever go on nowadays, but I have a new account that's I'm like low key lurking on Twitter.
Low key lurking. Is this where we follow all the sex workers?
No, I could do that.
I mean, that's the thing you could do.
Yeah, I could, but I'm not going to. No. Okay. Yeah, I just follow you and a couple game people, and I'm thinking about what I'm going to do with that account.
Yeah, sex workers, like I said.
Oh, jeez Louise. While I was there, I found John's tweet about Alan Wake 2.
Oh, yeah.
And it mimics some of the thoughts I had, even just last episode, I think. If you remember last episode or the one before that, I was saying, like, I love this game. It's so beautiful. It's a masterpiece. But it's also a little slow. Do you remember me saying that?
2 episodes ago, you seemed pretty high on it. You did say there was a little bit of slowness, but you were like full of positive energy, and you were raring to get like deeper into it. That was 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
And then 1 episode ago, you were like kind of like coming down off it. You want to give us a recap? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the general sense of me going like, "Wah." But then listen to what John said. Here's a quote. So he goes, surprised. I couldn't finish it. The gameplay is torturous. Harsh words, by the way. It was like wading through mud to get to a canopy of cool video story stuff, then wading through more mud for the next one. It's flashy and impressive, but in my opinion, it's not a good video game, which is harsh. Now, I think it is a good video game. I like it better than that quote that he gave it, but I 100% agree because I bounced from it temporarily. Like, video games you can always go back to. But I was playing it in the evenings. I was getting tired. I saw a video on YouTube of a guy playing it and going like, here's how I think about Alan Wake 2. And he just showed a video of him like nodding off.
He was sleeping. He was sleeping the entire video.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good video. But that's what I felt like. I was like, this is beautiful and interesting and cool. But it's like looking at a painting for a very long time, that changes, like multiple paintings. And I just kind of agree with him. So I don't know. I think I will go back to it. But man, oh man, it did change on me.
Well, that's funny, dude. I've seen a lot of hot and cold. I have not played it myself. I was, I guess I would call myself a fan of Alan Wake, the number one. It had issues, but I think overall I largely enjoyed it. I like the DLC better, and I like the expansions better. But then, we played Control. Control was a high point. I mean, I thought Control was great. I know you liked it too, even though we had issues with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that maybe Control was just like a fluke. Maybe this is just like Remedy getting back to Remedy. Because, I mean, God's honest truth, and not to be disrespectful or insulting or anything, but like I've never really clicked with any of Remedy's games up until, partially with Alan Wake, and then really a lot with Control. I think I've played the rest of their games and like none of them really stuck. So I wonder if this is them kind of like just getting back to their comfort zone,
I don't know. I mean, in my short version of how many hours I played on it, I would just say that I think it's, what's it called? When you self-indulge or something, right?
Yeah.
It's like all the stuff they like, and a lot of it is what I like, which is Twin Peaks stuff and
David Lynch stuff, whatever. Spooky,
it's just like
weird.
They threw it all in one, including live action, which you've seen the videos going around, like all these really crazy routines and dances and stuff, and just talk show performances. In the beginning, again, it felt just novel and interesting, but now I think it's just them going inside their jam so much that I don't know if I want to just be there all the time.
Well, it's funny
don't
too because
know.
I've heard a lot of critics really jump on this one. I feel like it's critic bait, just because it's kind of like multimedia and they're taking a big swing clearly, and it, everybody's still riding high off of the glow we got from Control and stuff. But like when I talk to people who are just not critics or just friends and people who are just playing it, almost to a person, they're like, "Oh, it's really boring, and I really don't want to play it anymore." So I think maybe there is a lot of appeal. Like it's like people want to give it an award because they think it's pretty cool, but like word on the street is really cooling off on it.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to the final word on it, I think, for now, is the gameplay. Because if I think about playing it the other night, I just got tired of what I was doing, right?
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
Not
And
a
then,
good sign.
Like John said, like, I wanted to get to the next cool thing. Because there's this really cool thing. I walked into an apartment and I watched a video on the wall. It was like a film that was left for me. And it was like an incredible performance by this actress. And it really captivated me, And it was about Mr. Scratch and it was dark. And I was like, ooh, cool. And then a lot of nothing for a while, right? A lot of going through, getting lost. That's the other thing.
I've heard people get lost a lot in that game.
Yeah. Why do you think I looked at the feature I talked about?
The help feature was kicked off this whole thing.
Yes.
Exactly.
So that's the issue. There it is. It's just like it's in that gameplay that I get frustrated. So just thought I'd bring that up, John. I'm with you. And then also just really quickly, Mass Effect put up a teaser.
They did for Mass Effect 5, right?
Mass Effect 5, yeah. I mean, on top of that, everybody's talking about GTA, of course, that they also said they're going to put out a trailer soon.
Sure.
But Mass Effect was a one I didn't realize that it happened. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? And, we both love Mass Effect. Come on.
Oh yeah, the original trilogy. That's like one of my favorite game experiences of all time. Yeah,
of all time. Sure. And then remember, on this podcast, I went ahead and played the Legendary Edition back to back, 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
And just remembered how much I loved it, and actually finished 3 because I never had. So yeah, I'm over the moon with this. I want this so bad.
I'm very curious, right? Like I love Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. Like I just said, one of my favorite experiences of all time. I didn't click with Mass Effect 4. That's what it's called,
Andromeda.
Right? Andromeda, that's what it was.
Which I fucking loved, and I talked about it many times.
And you talked it up on the show. I played it and bailed, but I still have it. In fact, it's actually on my hard drive right now.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, okay, maybe I should give it a second chance. I just remember just really not clicking with it at all. But if they do like a 5, like I would want them to do something that's in the spirit of the original trilogy, but I don't necessarily need to be Shepard again. Like maybe like a cameo would be cool or something or whatever, but like that would be okay. But like the exploration and kind of like the same vibe, or like, maybe even continue the story. I'm not sure what they chose as the canon ending of the trilogy,
right.
Something picking up would be cool. I feel like Andromeda just didn't quite nail that for me. Like I felt like it was kind of treading water in some ways, but I should go back to it and check again. But anyway, I would love to see something else, but I don't want to just do Shepard again because that's been done and it was amazing. I want to do something that continues, what I'm saying?
I agree. I don't want to be Shepard either. I want to just have like that world. I think they alluded to like the idea of, that timeline being part of it, right?
Yeah.
So that's cool. And yeah, what is the canon ending? I'm not sure.
Who knows?
But yeah, just any other character. Specifically, I would like to, have a role-playing thing where I can make whoever I want to make, right?
That would be cool. I'd be down for that.
I mean, that makes sense. Obviously, they, developers look at what other developers are doing, and Baldur's Gate, obviously, massive success, and you really make your own character in that game.
Sure.
I think they could do that, and that would be really exciting. But now I'll just use this opportunity to say to everybody listening that Andromeda is a really good game. Not a great game. Maybe it's like an 8, but it's fantastic. And you just have to do this. And I want Brad to do this. Hopefully he does.
Okay.
And I'm speaking about you. Well, you're right here.
Go ahead.
Hi, Brad. So
literally right here. Still here.
Hey, Brad, are you still here?
Still here.
Okay. So I have something for you then, because you're here.
Okay.
Is what you do with Andromeda is you just treat it as a sci-fi RPG. That's it.
Yeah.
You just think of it as it's like a standalone story, and you meet these new characters, and it has nothing to do with the Mass Effect world, and you're colonizing planets, and you're doing things. And it's also a more No Man's Sky game, where they want you to just be chill and not worry about the campaign sometimes.
Yeah, I get that.
And that's how I treated it, and it was fantastic. And then what they do, there's another quick pro tip. The third act, like the final, third of the game, they ramp it up, and now it's like a Mass Effect campaign story. So it's like, if you know that's the progression, then you can have a really good time with it.
I mean, that makes sense. And also, I mean, you have to kind of consider the time, right? Like following up, which I just said was like one of my favorite experiences of all time. Like that's a hard act to follow, right? And on top of like all the problems he had at launch and the problems with the engine and the problems with the team. And I mean, it was a pretty troubled development period. So it's not like it just was flawless and everything went just fine. So
it's like,
I'll give it another shot. Like I was tempted. My son played it a while ago and he said he had a pretty good time with it. So I'll give it a shot. Maybe now that I've had some distance between then and now, maybe my perspective will change.
Yeah. And just like Cyberpunk, this is the best version of it now.
True.
And so this, Mass Effect had a problem with the characters' faces and the eyes were weird and stuff like that. But so did Cyberpunk. So yeah, I just think everybody should check it out. I'm sure it's like super cheap too.
It must be. All right, cool.
What else? Okay, what else do you have? Because I think that's all I had.
All right, I got a couple things here. I want to circle back on a couple games. First, I want to circle back to the Lamplighters League. I've been talking about it for the last couple of episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So it is absolutely one of my favorite turn-based tactics games of the last couple of years. Like, I got more than halfway through it, and I'm just like, I love it. Like, I love the choices. I love what they're doing. I love the designs, the characters. I've gone on and on about this game for the last couple episodes. It's on Xbox and it's on PC. So, also it's had a very troubled development. There were issues with the Xbox version, which is where I'm playing it. Basically, it keeps running out of memory because they didn't program it correctly. And so it crashes like every 5 minutes.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Exactly. And I would only put up with that because this game is amazing. And it is amazing. So I have put up with it. But the developers said they were working on a patch. And I was very excited about that. So they're like, here comes the patch. They put out the patch. And man, that patch... Oh, it poured gasoline on the fire. Like, I don't know what they did, but they made it worse. Like,
they made it worse?
It got so much worse because not only did it keep on crashing, it started deleting saves. And that was where I had to draw the line. So I got about halfway through. I beat this really tough boss level. I finished it, got back to the hub, saved my game, went to have lunch, came back, and my save was gone.
That's crazy.
And so I'm like, okay, whoa, maybe this is a one-time thing. Redid the boss level because my save was like right before the boss level. Got through all that shit again, did it again, got out, saved, and I'm like, okay, well, I need to test this because I don't want to pour hours into this and find out it's going to be gone. So I saved at the hub, closed the game, came back, save was gone again. Oh, so it's deleting saves, and I'm just really, really sad because this has been one of my favorite experiences of the year. I think I haven't had as much fun with tactics. I mean, since XCOM 2, maybe. Like, I feel like I'm like, it's popping on every level for me, except for technically.
Yeah.
But like design, concept, character, music, like everything is just popping. It's just really, really good. But it's just unplayable right now. And it's so good. I'm like, okay, well, fuck, maybe I'll just buy it on PC because people say it works fine on PC because you got way more memory on your PC, right? So
True.
My PC is currently in the shop. We talked about this multiple episodes ago. It's still in the shop. So maybe once my PC gets back, I'll just buy it on regular PC and play it there, which is something I never do. But I love this game a lot, and I really, really, really want to finish it. But it's just so fucking broken on Xbox.
Yeah.
It just makes me really, really sad. And I sent a meme to the developers, and I was like, hey, please unbreak my heart. And they sent a meme back with them putting a Band-Aid on my heart. So hopefully they get it fixed. I want to support these guys. I want to stand this game so hard. I want every tactics player to play it. But it's got to work, and like save is like, that's step one.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would jump to PC because obviously, just in general, like space, I don't know, like PC saves seem to be more stable or something.
I don't know. I mean, it's not usually a problem. I mean, I can save 1 million. This is just very unheard of. Yeah. That, I mean, we've been saving games for decades. It shouldn't be a thing. I don't know what happened, but something broke.
True. Consoles, I don't have really issues.
Yeah, there's no
with
problem with
saves.
saving. It's been fine. Ever since we got away from the write down your password save from the NES, that was a problem.
Geez.
But ever since those days, it's been okay.
You kids don't know, but we had to
the pain we
actually
suffered.
write down like PQR3 lowercase z.
And it was always a fucked up font. It was never just a regular font. It was like fancy font. And you're like, is that a 3? Or is it a Z? Or is it a 2? Or is it an R?
And after we wrote it down, which is a long thing that we couldn't even understand what it was, and then we had to put it in. We had to enter it back into the console. It was terrible. Anyways, we hope for them to make it better. You should get it on PC. And I'll also say this, 2 asterisks. 1, Brad and technology don't mix.
We don't.
Part of that is going to be maybe that. And then secondly, it's almost like a good movie or good album where like I'll use the album analogy, where you're like, man, these 3 songs are fucking amazing, and then I hate the rest of the record.
Yes.
So that just can happen sometimes, and that's okay too. Like, it's like, just take what you have that you did enjoy out of this, and if they never fucking fix it, then you go, well, I'm going to watch their next game because that was really fucking good.
I mean, no, I can't, dude. I love this game so much.
That's what happens with records, though. That is truly a record thing, right?
I mean, that's absolutely true. But like, if people are saying it works fine on PC, and that's all I need to know, because I will play this because, oh man, I've been wanting to play Tactics, and this is just the best I've played in such a long time.
Okay, get it for PC.
I got to get it for PC once I get my PC. First PC,
right?
Then get it for PC. Secondly, I wanted to circle back to Endless Dungeon. We talked about that last episode. You remember?
Yeah, and I haven't played it yet, and I think I have a code, which makes me a bad person.
That's okay. I forgive you. This is the sequel to Dungeon of the Endless, which I loved, which is on the Switch. It's on everything. It's 2D, pixel-based game, but it's buggy. It's buggy as fuck. Every version of it is super ass buggy. And that's why I never put it on my top 10. That's why I never finished it, because it was buggy. It kept deleting saves. Seeing a theme here. So anyway, the developers come out with Endless Dungeon, which is basically the exact same game, but they have revamped it and redone it for modern consoles. They've changed a lot. So it's no longer 2D. It is now 3D isometric. It's like full polygons, full color. They've added a bunch of new stuff. It's kind of like a twin stick shooter in a way. This is the one where basically it's like a combination of twin stick shooter, roguelike, and tower defense all swirled together.
Right. Now, wait, I'm having deja vu. You've talked about this.
Yeah. This is a circle back. I'm circling back.
Okay.
Circling back because I did talk about it last episode, and I was like, oh, I'm really excited because I loved Dungeon of the Endless, but I got so mad because I couldn't finish it. It kept deleting my saves. So maybe this is my chance for, redemption or something. I can go back and finish this one. Yeah, no, I don't think that I will. So I put some more time into it. I just barely scratched the surface last episode, but I came back to it. And this game is just really, really boring. They have lost the plot on this one, and I'm really sad to say it. I don't think that isometric works as well as 2D, because sometimes stuff is just really hard to tell where it's at, and like some of the view is obfuscated, and sometimes there's stuff on the ground that you're getting you're tripping on, and you can't really quite tell where it's at. And I don't think the isometric works as well. And I think also for a game that is supposed to be at heart a roguelike, they do not understand what makes a good roguelike, and that makes me very confused because they really got it the first time around. Like with the last game, it was great. If that game hadn't been buggy, that would have been one of my top 10 the year it came out. And this time around, there's not enough randomization. There's not enough stuff to make it feel like a roguelike. Instead, it feels like they've gone to a grind. So for example, in the first game, you'd go into a dungeon and you'd walk around, and then you'd like randomly meet somebody, and they'd be like, hey, you want to team up? Yes or no? You'd be like, okay, yeah, cool. Team up. And then later on you meet somebody else and you decide, oh, do I want to keep the first guy? Keep the second guy. Which guy's better for my build right now? What's going on? Or you'd find better weapons. Like, oh, I like the first guy, but only if I find this weapon. And then you find it. You're like, okay, cool. It worked. Or, there's all sorts of like little decisions on the fly that you do. Find new guns, new teammates, new things that pop up all the time. So every run felt kind of different. And you would learn over time, like which way you wanted to build your character and how it was all working, but it still depended on whether you got it or not. This time around, you don't meet anybody in the dungeons. Like you pick your team from the hub and you go, and there's, you'll get a couple guns that drop, but like all the guns basically feel the same. They just kind of change like affinity. Like one's acid, one's electricity, one is fire. But they're all basically the same. They don't feel very different. They don't make you play in a different way. They don't really change how you interact with your characters. Your character, I mean, nothing happens in the dungeon. Like you're just going through the dungeon rather than like as a roguelike making decisions, prioritizing, seeing what comes up. Like there's just every run kind of felt the same to me, and there just wasn't enough variety in it. So I feel like they have lost the roguelike element, which really made the first game great, and they've turned it into kind of a grind. Like you do a run, you get killed, you come back to the hub, and it's like, oh, well, if you want to unlock this thing, you need 10 doodads. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I've only got like 2. So that means I got to do more runs and then just collect the stuff. Resources. Yeah, and then come back to the hub and unlock the thing.
Don't like it.
And yeah, and the new characters, instead of just meeting them in the dungeon like you used to, you'll see them in the hub. They're like, yeah, well, I'll join your party once you get to this certain place. And it's like, okay, so I got to just like slog my way to this one place, get there, and then unlock the guy. Like it's lost the randomness and the excitement and the aspects of it that I thought made it really, really good last time around. It just feels like a grind fest rather than a true roguelike. And I think that's not where the magic of this game is. I just don't like it anymore. It's too boring, too repetitive, and there's just not enough variety in each run. So I lost interest pretty quickly on this one.
So it turns out the endless dungeon has an end.
It does have an end, and the end is right here and right now. So I do want to give it an official score, actually.
Oh, okay.
I will. And I think I'm going to give this just like a 5, like 5-0.
All right.
I mean, it functions. It's really pretty. Like, I think the graphics are really nice, even though I don't like the isometric, but it looks nice. It feels very slick and polished, but it just doesn't have that same juice that the original had, and it feels like a step back from the first game, which is really unfortunate. So it's fine. I've played worse games. I've played a lot of better games. It functions. The save didn't disappear, so I guess
Nice, yeah.
it's just right in the middle for me. Purely average. It's a 5.0 endless dungeon.
Number 5 is like it's a game.
It's a game. It's a game that works.
It's a game.
There you go. Okay. I have a little listener email I'm going to get to here. Anything else you want to say before we get to this listener email, Carlos?
No.
Anything for you?
Go for it.
This comes from good friend J Monster, one of my Monster Hunter buddies from back in the day. Love my man, J Monster. He sent me this kind of little funny story. So he says, "Hey guys, my friend Alan, who lives in Canada, told me a funny story from when he was in Super Potato. And for those that don't know, it's a big, and one of probably the most famous retro game store in Japan, in the Akihabara area of Tokyo. Pretty world famous Super Potato. Lots of people know that. So he was there with his wife Kayla a couple years back and decided he wanted to track down a couple Super Famicom games, which is also known as the SNES, if you don't know. Said he wanted to find Donkey Kong Country and Killer Instinct. So he says they're looking for 15 minutes and he can't find it. It's getting dull, especially for his wife who didn't have any nostalgia, wasn't excited about, going to the store or whatever. So he finds Donkey Kong Country but can't find Killer Instinct and figures he's going to go ask the person at the counter. So he doesn't speak Japanese and doesn't know if the person speaks English. So he does like a Google Translate, types it out on his phone, and then he shows the phone to her. She reads the phone and she gets like a really scared look in her eyes, like he's a fucking serial killer.
What?
And so he's like, "Oh no, what's going on?" So he pulls back. He starts Googling pictures of the game, and he shows her like an actual picture of the game. And she goes, oh, okay, wait. Like, so it turns out Killer Instinct was never released in Japan. So when he was typing like whatever Killer Instinct, it wasn't translating properly. And so he showed it to her, and I don't know what she thought, like, "I'm gonna come kill you," or like whatever Google Translate said.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a pretty funny story. Thank you for sharing that, Alan and J Monster. Really appreciate it. And I guess I will know next time at Super Potato, I will not ask for Killer Instinct.
Wait, okay. I have 2 things from that. One, we both been to Super Potato, right? You've been?
I was there last week.
No, you were not.
I've never been to Japan. No.
Oh, okay. Well, I have been to Super Potato, and I was in Tokyo. And it is actually not very big. It's like teeny.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's like 5 or 6 floors, but that's what they do in Tokyo a lot.
Yeah.
Like all these buildings just go up and
go vertical.
Total a lot of floors. They're all teeny floors, like miniature, like the size of my studio apartment.
Okay.
But they are jam packed with stuff. And the arcade, which is like near the top, is just full of smoke. It's just a bunch of older guys playing video games, some young, but a lot of older guys, and just they're chain smoking. It's nuts.
Nice.
But anyways, also that place is overpriced. I just felt like some of the prices were pretty high.
That's what I've heard.
But they do have everything, so it's like you have to pay for it because they have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're probably capitalizing on their rep. I mean, everybody in the world knows Super Potato.
Oh yeah,
so you're gonna
totally.
it's like the destination when you go to Akihabara, right?
Yeah, I still like it. But and the other thing I was going to say is that like very soon, and we have already some devices now, but with like AI and with just Google and not just those big companies, but a lot of smaller companies are innovating to do the translation thing for us. So that will be a not a problem in the future. We'll just say words and then they'll get translated.
True. That is really funny though to think that, I really would like to know what Google Translate did, like what that changed into, like Killer Instinct. This poor lady at the counter, she must have been scared out of her mind. This weird gaijin American shows up and starts talking shit, like
It
probably
just
thought he
says-
had a gun or something. Or
It
he
just
probably
says, "I am a killer and I have an instinct to kill you." That's what it said.
Yes. Also, I should apologize. I called Alan an American. That's an insult. I apologize. He's from Canada. My bad.
Okay, yeah, that's different.
I take it back. Okay, that's all I've got for housekeeping. Anything else for you, Carlos?
Now let's jump into many games.
Let's jump into many, many games. Let's turn it back over to you, sir. You said you're bringing 2 demos to the table.
Yes.
And there's a lot of demos out right now, so I'm very curious. Which 2 have you selected for us this week?
Oh man, these are, I think, my favorite games almost of the whole thing, of all my games.
Of
They're
all
demos.
the thing, of all the games? Or
Well, the demos I like a lot, is all I'm saying. So
Okay.
the first demo, and both of these have TikTok videos, glitch to the ground on TikTok, because they're just so weird and crazy. The first one's called Half Sword, and I can't take credit for finding it. I do, watch YouTube videos, watch a lot of people who are playing games and indie games. So someone was playing it, and I saw them play it, and I was like, I have to do it. I think it was actually It's Will on YouTube.
And is this on PC or
it's
PlayStation?
PC only, and it's a demo, and it's, not even finished, and it's weird. So it's a physics game where you play third person, similar to those Octodad kind of things where you have to move.
Oh, like the awkward movement game.
Yeah, you move your arms around. It's not with your legs, so you just walk, but you walk kind of weird, but you don't have to worry about walking, which is good. It's really about just like swinging your arms with melee weapons, which is, you're just flailing around, you're trying to be smart and cool with it, but it looks crazy. And by the way, a pro tip is as long as you swing your arms fast, you might win, because that's usually the kind of way to win.
Just like real life.
Just like real life. You just swing your arms fast. So you start off, you have nothing, and, you have maybe like your shorts on, and that's it, like little undies, little underwear, tighty whities. And you go just forward, and it's all black around you, just like all, nothing. You can't see anything. And then as you move forward, you start to see things pop up. And one of them is like a little bench with like a lantern and like a candlestick holder. And so you pick up the candlestick holder, and that's your weapon, right? You have something. And then you keep walking, and then a person will show up to fight you. Just random.
Just like in real life.
Just like in real life. And then you fight them, and hopefully you win, whatever. And then you keep doing that, and you find different weapons as you walk, right? And you find different weapons. You take weapons from the people you beat.
Is this like basically just like a long hallway?
Yeah, it's just like empty space. It's like dark space.
Okay.
But, me, I always find all the glitches, the invisible walls. So I actually got to the end of this place, and it was a fence. So I did actually find that there was an ending to it.
Okay.
But anyways, it's just to show you these fun and ridiculous mechanics of swinging your arms around, all the physics to happen when you connect with people, and it's insanely bloody. And it's also really, really disturbing, because after you hit someone, so I've defeated somebody, they fall down, they don't have a weapon, but they're not dead yet, and they're just screaming. And it's so disturbing, and I'm like, you have to hit them enough so they do die.
Oh my god, that sounds really funny.
Is it
funny or is it
disturbing?
horrific?
I don't know. I didn't want to do it anymore after at some point, but it was initially funny, and you can see my video of it.
Okay.
But then you keep going, and then the fights get harder and harder. Some people have armor, some people have bigger weapons and stuff like that, and yeah, it was just ridiculous and fun, and it's just a experimental demo for them to try. But if they release a game even close to just this, I think people will fucking check it out. It's so fun. It's called Half
That sound
Sword.
pretty fun. Half Sword. Okay.
And the last thing I'll say is my main video I put up was I finally got like the Scythe or Scythe. How do you say it?
Scythe. Yeah. Scythe.
And I was just swinging it around, and I stuck it in the guy's crotch accidentally. And then I tried to pull it out, and I couldn't. And I dragged him along by the scythe. That was also disturbing. So
funny.
I need to give these the whole developers just a shout out. I don't know the name of the developers. I'd look it up. It's called Half Sword. Just Google it. It's fucking cool as shit. It's free. Go download it, and it's ridiculous.
That sounds really fun. Okay. All right.
And then the other one is when I sent another TikTok video I made, and I sent you, so you have a little bit of context here. But this was, it's very early days, but what they did is there's an Unreal demo called City Sample, just basically a sample of a city. It's using that Matrix demo that both of us played, I think, at some point, where it's like super sophisticated, high-end graphics, showing what Unreal can do, populating a city with cars and people. That demo came out a while ago. But so this is using that demo, but just a little section of the city to basically throw AI on top of the NPCs. So any NPC you have in the city is called a smart NPC. None of it is scripted, and it's just reacting to you talking to the NPC. Now, the difference also is not only is it AI, but it reacts to your microphone. So you just have your microphone on, you walk around, and you talk to the characters in whatever you want to say. And it responds.
And then they'll respond back?
Yeah. Here's my initial findings. One, it's just cool. I love this kind of shit. You know me. I had some funny things happen. In general, there is a lot of accents from New York because, like, you're supposedly in New York. So they're like, hey, you get out of here. I'm having a bad day. So that's kind of corny. But a lot of the NPCs seemed depressed. Some people were having a mental breakdown, like losing their shit. One woman was crying, and it just seemed interesting that a ton of people were either upset or they don't want to be bothered. So I don't know
Is
if
this like the AI kind of like getting the tone of reality by scraping social media or something because everybody's like upset and doesn't want to be bothered and sad right now?
It's much simpler than that. They took the New York setting, and I think they just kind of put a New York flavor, of like.
Because everybody's sad and doesn't want to be bothered.
Well,
in
no,
New York.
everybody in the city, that again, it's a stereotype, but like everybody's in the city is like, get out of my face. I'm just walking here, that bullshit. So that's a little bit there, which is weird, but you can push past that. And I did, because as long as you keep talking to them, they will give you responses. So here's a couple initial things I found that was fucking fascinating. One person who was super depressed and was on his phone, weirdly enough, I said, hey, do you think we're in a simulation? I think we might be. And he's like, yeah, I can't get out of here. It's like an endless cycle of like hopelessness. And I was like, holy shit, dude. I feel the same, So we both were depressed with each other and talked about how life was, tough. And then I was like, do you think there's a way to get out there? Should we even try? Like, how do we get out of the simulation? He's like, I don't know, but we've got to find a way out. And he was like determined to get out of the simulation. That was chilling. And then the other one was a guy, and I said, hey, you're an NPC, just so you know, and you're in a video game. Don't mean to be harsh on you, but that's what the situation is. And then finally he goes, yeah, that would explain a lot of like all those feelings of me not knowing like that I'm being controlled by someone else. And I was like, wow, yeah, that's it exactly, because you're an NPC. And then I go, but he goes, but it doesn't change anything. He goes, I still want to just live my best life and meet other people. And I go, did you meet other NPCs that you like? And he goes, yeah, I met this woman named Sarah, and she's awesome. And I go, what do you and Sarah do? And she's like, yeah, we go around together, and we just went out to this park, whatever. And I'm like, this is crazy. Okay, well, I hope you guys, are dating or something like that. And he goes, oh, no, it's just friends for now. And so he was like, adamant that they were just friends. Lastly, is I said, because he had coffee with him, I go, before I leave, what's in that cup? If you're an NPC, like, that's not coffee, right? And he goes, well, it's virtual coffee, and that's good enough for me. And he goes, yeah, it's like, I go, does it taste like coffee? And he goes, no, it's like a program, but it makes me feel like I'm having coffee. So the self-awareness thing was just crazy to watch. It's not there yet, and it's still kind of broken and stuff, but it's a very cool demo.
I love that we just can't stop ourselves from inching towards Skynet.
I know. This definitely is like a slippery slope of we're all gone. But maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't.
We'll see. This thing was called...
It's just called City Sample. You just look for that. Unreal
it's on PC,
demo.
on Steam?
Yeah, it's Unreal Demo. It's just a demo. You have to download it.
Gotcha.
It's a huge file. It's massive. It takes up a lot of computing power. I had to reboot and go to all these plugins and stuff. But I know you probably are not a fan of what I just said, but
I know why you like it. That makes perfect sense. That describes perfectly the stuff that you've said you like, and I know that you're into that stuff. But for me, I couldn't feel less for that. But I hear you.
Oh, and by the way, I will also an asterisk on it, because for games, this is a games podcast, it just allows for say Fable. I always bring that one up because I miss Fable, or any RPG that we play or something like that. Those quests don't have to be fully scripted. We don't have to have it be wildly all AI and it just has its mind of its own. But it could just at least have more open parameters than what we have right now, which is we talk to somebody and they say the same thing over and over again.
Sure.
I just want expansion of the games we love,
Or we could hire writers to do that.
Well, you can do that, but by the way, they end up not writing everything. You can't write everything.
You can't write everything, but I feel like we could be employing writers more effectively than we have been. I think it's kind of a cop-out. And not even just in games and stuff, but, it's pretty famous and kind of a trope that, they don't put a lot into the writing. Sometimes they do, but most games don't. They come up with a game, they come up with, scenarios, and then the writer comes in at the end and kind of, does what they can do. But, I feel like writers are really the heart of so many projects. We should be hiring more writers. We should employ more writers. We should pay writers more, because good writing can really make the difference between something that's humdrum and something that's amazing. And I don't know, for me anyway, as a writer myself, if you can tell, I'm pretty biased there.
Yeah.
I don't know that AI is really something that I'm really keen on exploring in terms of that anyway.
I will say this. You're 100% right in that we need more writers. And you're also 100% right in that a lot of game developers don't focus on the writing enough or at the wrong time in the development process.
Yeah.
Right? Because I've actually been part of a team and watched like the writing come in at the end, you know?
Yeah.
It might have been at Microsoft. I don't know. It might have not. But you know what I mean? Like that is a problem, and that's something that you can fix now. So I 100% agree with that. I also just think that, and we'll always agree to disagree on this, I think, for now, but you can just do that combo. So like a game can be written with a ton of writers and like awesome plot points and endings and beginnings and middles, but that middle crap, you know, the stuff that you can flesh out and just kind of like the interactivity of the day-to-day of playing an RPG, you know, like Diablo even. If you go back in there, I played the campaign, that was all written. But if now I'm just grinding, I could maybe have some weird AI kind of interactions that might be fun. So I think you can do both.
I get you. I get you.
Anywho, that's it for my demos. And what do you have for your first game?
All right. Well, for my first game, boy, this was kind of a roller coaster ride for me. World of Horror. I finally got around to World of Horror.
Oh, you did. Cool.
Yeah, I didn't get to it in time for spoopy season, so I apologize for that. But it's pretty close as far as I'm concerned. I'm still within like the next month, so I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's still Halloween. Let's make it Halloween.
Yeah, ish. Yeah, for sure. So this was a single developer title that's been in the works for like a while. I've been following it on Twitter. I feel like at least for a year, if not longer than a year, maybe even longer than a year, where this person has been working on this like kind of like, I don't know, like really strange RPG with horror bits. Seems like it takes some cues from like maybe Lovecraft, maybe Junji Ito, going back to like kind of an 8-bit RPG sort of aesthetic kind of a thing.
Well, they're calling it 1-bit.
Oh, 1-bit. Yeah,
yes,
sorry.
I gave it very limited graphics.
7 too many. But so I was very, very curious. It seems like exactly my jam, and I was very excited. So I cracked into it and sat down with it. And boy, I don't know that I've ever gone from 10 out of 10 to excitement for like 0 out of 10. I don't want to play this anymore in like record time.
Okay.
It was just really harsh. So I don't even really quite even know what to say about the story. It's just like, oh, you're in a town and weird things are happening. And it seems like there are, I think, at least 3 different storylines you can follow. But before we even get to that, I think that the presentation of this game has a lot to do with how quickly I cooled on it. I think when you look at still pictures of this game, like screenshots, it looks really amazing. Like you're like, oh my God, the pixel art looks great, really creepy and spoopy and stuff. And the music is actually surprisingly effective and good. I think the music is actually really the standout of this game. I thought the music was great. Really kind of like chiptune, 8-bit, but still kind of NES spooky kind of a thing. It really worked well. But like the tutorial is terrible, and I couldn't like, it would be like, oh, you check this box and select this thing, and I'm looking at the screen and I don't even know what they're talking about. There's so much stuff on the screen. Like every inch is taken up by something, and it's like lots of little boxes, lots of little columns, like little spreadsheet and like, you know, images and icons. And I'm like, it was so much to take in. Like I felt like I was getting sand thrown in my face. Like I was just like, I can't look at this directly. Like there's too much going on. Like it needed like to be really streamlined and just to change the approach of it. Combat is really kind of like menu based, but it's really unorthodox. Like you have to kind of queue up these actions, but I was like struggling. I'm like, how do I even equip a weapon? I don't understand why it's not working. I don't understand how this is what's going on. I was at a school and it was like, oh, you have like 4 options, and like one is like do the ritual, but they tell you you're not ready for that, and one is like search the school, and I guess it was like randomly taking me to places, and I guess I was just not really sure at all about what was going on and what I was supposed to be doing and what all the like. I got into some of the menus. I'm like, oh my God, there's like 50 icons in here and I don't know what they do and what's happening. And I'm like, what am I supposed to push? Like, I don't even understand. And it just like launches into it.
I was going to say, alongside everything you're saying, you think of the graphics, which are like difficult to look at kind of at times.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it was a little bit difficult. I feel like the UI was more difficult to look at than the pictures. I think the artwork is good, but I just needed to be like in more service of the artwork rather than sticking the artwork in. It was just like 3/4 of the screen is just like stuff. Like way too much stuff. And I was like, holy smokes, I don't understand. I'm having a very hard time digesting this. I went back and replayed, and I mean, like literally it's like click on this one thing and I'm like, I don't even know where that thing is, and it's telling me to click on it, and I'm like, I'm lost. Like I don't know where it is. It was like buried like 3 menus deep or something, and I'm like, oh, is this the thing? Like holy shit. Like it was just like, oh man, I knew this wasn't gonna work. It was just no No good, no good, no go, not for me. It just didn't happen. So, despite the fact I've been following this thing for like all this time and I was so psyched just based on the screenshots and playing it in practice were like worlds apart. Yeah, it just, wow. That was a thing that I played and I don't even know what happened and I walked away and I felt abused. So,
Jeez. Yeah, it's similar to like watching a trailer and you're like so excited and then you see it and you're like, wait, I don't think I like this movie.
yeah, it was pretty bad. So I bounced pretty quickly. I don't think I even made it 30 minutes in that game where I was just like everything about this game was a rough edge and it was rubbing me the wrong way. So,
all right.
Anyway, all right. That's all I have to say about World of Horror. You are bringing to the show something that I was supposed to check into and I didn't, so I fully apologize. This bed we made, I know you were kind of excited about it last episode, and you got around to it. Tell us about it, Carlos.
Yeah, the end of last episode, right? I mentioned it.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it really quickly, yeah.
And I was like, it's just like games are like doing a bunch of metaphors today, but they are like any sort of art form or that you find interesting by just something piques your interest. And you're like, I think this might be it. I seem to have a good knack with that, especially with indie games. And so when I saw it last episode, it just felt cool because it's kind of a throwback. I don't know what the actual year is. I could probably look it up, but it's like 1950s style game.
Okay.
So what is the game? It's this bed we made. It's not MAID, but it could be because you work at this hotel.
I was surprised it wasn't MAID.
I know. You work at this hotel and you are basically, cleaning up rooms and you're a woman in the 1950s in this hotel. And it's a very small game. It's a very indie game. I think I mentioned to you like Until Dawn or something. The graphics aren't that insane. They're like super simple graphics actually, but third person and they're good enough. Like this game is all about mood and atmosphere and like puzzle solving and just kind of like living in this world. Look it up for me if you could. I think it's 1950s style world where you are kind of thrust into this role of cleaning rooms, knowing all the people at the hotel, but then kind of piecing together what is going on. There's something going on.
1950s, yeah, you're right.
Okay, so there's something going on. I think the first picture of the game shows like a trail of blood, and she's mopping it up. So you don't know what's going on. Something fishy's going on. So yeah, you play the game as by just walking around third person very slowly. There's no running and jumping, and it's not an action game. But you're just kind of like living in this world and investigating rooms. And it starts off with you actually snooping, which they call it snooping too. You're kind of like looking through people's stuff. Mm-hmm. And I guess as you do, I don't know, I've never done cleaning rooms. And so she's just doing that. And then she kind of talks with like her friend who also works there. And they're kind of joking about like, what'd you find out about that person? But then she finds a room where some kind of crazy stuff's in that room, right? I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
But something about like she might be being watched, herself.
The maid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then you just don't know what's going on. There's pictures, there's weird things, there's like, this game does do a lot of that codes and a little bit of puzzles and stuff. Mm-hmm. So there's just some weird cryptic stuff going on and you're trying to figure it out. Now, this is why the game is really cool. Everything you do in the game, as they tell you at the very beginning, makes a difference, as they like to say in games. But it really does, because I did just jump on YouTube to see like a walkthrough, and the character that was in the walkthrough was a totally different character than I was talking to in that same spot of the game, if that makes sense.
So not that it's randomly generated, but your choices led you to a different discussion scene.
Well, not even that it was a different person as a main point of interest. I was talking to somebody, and let's say it was the bellhop. And in the YouTube video, it was like the manager. It was like totally fucking different.
But it wasn't random. Like it was because of stuff that you did.
It was because of stuff I did. It changed it, right?
Okay.
But that is true. Like that's truly like multiple endings, and not even just multiple endings, but multiple ways the story is going to be told to you. Because I did something early on, it was me and like the bellhop with a lot of these things, And if we did something else, it would have been something else. And I mean like you can like throw things away. You can like clean up stuff because you clean as well, and it's actually like a mini game. And you can keep things. You can pick up things. So there's so many little points of where you change, I think, the story just by like what you did. I don't know where those points are, like even like leaving a door open or something. but it's just so atmospheric. There's this beautiful, like, 1950s music on in the background. It's snowing outside. As the game goes, the progressively gets snowier outside, and it's just a fucking mood. Like, this game is a vibe,
Gotcha. Yeah.
And it feels so good. I was like, it was 2 hours. I started it, and it was like 2 hours just went by. I was like, no thanks. I'm not going to do anything else. Fuck Diablo. Fuck video games. This was like a story that I wanted to be in. And so that's the good news, okay?
Okay.
There's 2 cons.
Have you finished it yet, by the way? Or
No.
not?
I'm like,
Okay.
I think they said if I check my PlayStation, it says 60% done. So I'm pretty close, right? Like, I think I'm more than half, obviously.
Okay.
There's one real big reason why I haven't.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So some of the puzzles, which I don't like too many puzzles, but this one was, I was still like in the mood, so I didn't care. One of them was that thing where you have like a code and you have to like translate it so that you know what the words say. That thing. It's like a symbol. Then you make sure what
like
those
letter
are.
substitution or something like that. Yeah.
So I did it, and I'm moving on. There was one more I found, and I was like, oh, cool. I have all the codes, or I'm ready. Every time I go to enter it, it crashes the game.
Oh no!
This just happened. 60-something% into the game.
Oh my god, boy! This is a year for games that crash, dude. What the hell?
That one's on. Like, right now, I did it 4 times in a row. I did it last night, and I tried again.
Are you on PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Okay.
So I'm going to try again tonight. I don't know if the patch has been updated. Obviously, I'm sure they're doing that. So that's a problem, obviously. Hopefully that gets fixed because I really like this game a lot. And I think it's such a good mood and such a cool, like, it might be their first game. And the second con is, and this is a pro tip for everybody listening, but it does that thing where you go somewhere, you can't go, like, I can't go down the elevator because it goes, you're holding too many things, which is just a weird, like...
Is that because your hands are full and you can't push the button?
It shouldn't matter. Like, I don't know what they're doing that for. It must be some sort of, like, timeline preservation thing or something. Because there's so many moving parts in this kind of narrative,
You may be bringing something with you that needs to stay on the floor,
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
So it doesn't explain it and just says you're fucked. And so I was stuck for like an hour. And then it's a brand new game, so there was no walkthrough.
Yeah.
And there was no PlayStation help. So I finally just waited. And then like a few days later, someone had it on a forum. And I had to throw the stuff down in what's it called? Like, they have those little things in the hallway where they can throw things in a bag, like
the little laundry chute.
Yeah, well, no, like on the carts, like
like the little housekeeping cart.
Housekeeping cart, yeah. So I didn't know that was even a thing and that it was functioned, but you could dump stuff in there. So I finally dumped stuff in there, and then I was able to go down the elevator. That's just a weird thing. So for anybody listening, that happens really early on. Other than that and the crash, I really think it's special. I'm interested to see what my ending's going to be like because, like I said, I went to YouTube and it was like a totally different kind of character that they were dealing with. But it just voice acted well. It feels like it's a period piece. You're in this time. It's kind of tricky. There's all the kind of power dynamics with bosses, and you're a woman in this 1950s, which makes it difficult. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just getting through it and stuff like that. And I really like the main character, so. I still speak highly of it. Just got to fix that crash.
Oh man,
that
is just the repeat story of this year. 2 of my favorite experiences of the year were unfinishable because they keep crashing, and there's been a number of other games I've played that have all had crash problems that they weren't as good as that, but many where I'm like, oh man, crashing. What is going on with developers this year? Is it just like, I don't know what's happened? Something's in the water or something's going on. Maybe, it can't just be me affecting all these games because my anti-technology reach isn't that far, but I've never had a year where so many games were just really just so crash prone, bug prone.
Yeah. I don't know what the answer is. I know the indie just obviously has like, there's just maybe not as many QA people on their team or something.
Yeah.
I will also say before I leave this review or preview or something, her name's Sophie. I keep forgetting to say her name. Her name's Sophie. She's such a likable character. I care for her. Like, she's so nice, and she just wants to do the right thing, even though she's nosy. And you're just along for the ride. Someone said it's a guilty pleasure. Someone said it's like, someone else said it's a vibe. It's done so well. I've heard it's only like 4 or 5 hours maybe. So it means like I'm much closer to the ending than I think.
Yeah.
So I got to get to fix this crash. But yeah, that's it. It's a mysterious room. There's mysterious people. I don't want to say anything because everything I say could affect your gameplay.
Yeah.
But it's just a mystery you're trying to figure out, and you just want to be in that world, and it's super great.
Oh man. Well, that sounds great. I mean, the crash is kind of giving me pause. I was gonna go run and download it, but I'm gonna wait till they patch that then because that sucks. So
Yeah, it might be like totally stable on PC right now. I don't know, but
okay.
all right, still check it out. Check it out.
All right. That sounds like a winner for sure, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me talk for a minute about a new visual novel that I am playing on the Switch. It's called Inescapable, No Rules, No Rescue. So this is definitely, like I said, visual novel, heavy on the novel. It has very strong Danganronpa vibes, which in general is okay, but I'm finding these days, I'm not going to point any fingers here, but I've played a lot of visual novels lately that really seem to be taking a lot of strong cues from Danganronpa, which, I mean, if you're going to steal from the best, because Danganronpa is amazing. I love that series, and I had the best time with those games. But it just feels a little too close to comfort. Like, it feels like it's almost like a side story or something, and and it's not related. It feels like the art style and the vibe is just too similar. So it feels like maybe it's a little uncomfortable for me. The premise is that you're this guy. I think his name's Harry, something like that. You and a bunch of other people get kidnapped. They don't explain how or why. Like, you get gassed or something, and then you wake up on this island and you're in the middle of nowhere. You have a cell phone, but it's not your cell phone. It's a cell phone that your kidnappers give to you, and then your kidnappers show up, and it's these two ladies, and they're speaking to you from a video camera or something, and they're like, okay, so you guys are here on this island. No one's coming for you. No one knows where you are. And you're going to be here for 6 months. And we got cameras all over the island, and we want to see you acting like really shitty. So like every time you do something bad or something crazy to your fellow island mates, we'll give you a bonus or something, and we'll give you rewards. And if you're too nice and you're too boring, then we're going to starve you to death.
Oh
so
my
they want
gosh.
you to, yeah, it's like really shitty.
No, I'm sorry to interrupt. It sounds like a game I played, like that Zero Island whatever game.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
like literally
Zanky Zero is what you're thinking of. Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
And they're like, do stuff for the show, and you're on
Yes.
this island. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's already feeling a little bit familiar in terms of vibe, visuals, and kind of the premise. There's been a couple other games I can think of that are kind of like this. But I think the biggest issue with it, number one, is that the characters are pretty unlikable to begin with. And, maybe that's on point. Like maybe that's their intent, right? Is like, we want you to not like these characters. But also it's like really, really, really like verbose. Like I'm clicking through a lot of the dialogue and I'm like, okay, there's a fine line between a visual novel where you learn something about the characters and the dialogue is entertaining, and it's where and the other side of that line is like, it's way too much talk and I don't care about what you're saying and I don't care about these characters. This one falls on the latter half of that, where I'm just like clicking through a lot of text and I'm like, okay, I'm not really doing a lot. Nothing's really happening. I'm not making a lot of choices. Like sometimes you'll get a choice of like, oh, do you want to hang out with person A or person B or something? I haven't hit any mini games yet. I've heard there's mini games that pop up later. I haven't got there yet, but I'm just like, I'm sitting there and I'm just like I don't feel interested in this. It feels overfamiliar. It feels like they're talking too much. I don't get a sense of purpose. I don't get a sense of I'm not feeling connected is what I'm saying basically. Like, I'm just like, okay, like I get it. And I just like, it's not doing it for me. So, I might give it a little bit longer, but I just, it's one of those games where like once you put it down, you like instantly forget that you played it.
Oh yeah.
And so I put it down for a day and I totally forgot that I had played it. Like I had started it like the night before. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a visual novel. Cool. Start playing it. And I'm like, ooh, getting tired. Too much text. This is not exciting. Went to bed, completely had forgotten I had even played it. And I went to bed the next day. And I'm like, oh, I meant to play this. And it did not stick like even a bit. So
dude, it's like, I'm Mr. Metaphor today. It's like books. Okay.
Not like an album.
No, this one's like books, because straight up, I have started so many books and noped out of them. I mean, a visual novel, right? Like if you're not into what the fuck is the words, then you're out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's really the trick, right? Like the trick is like to really get your player hooked get them connected, get them invested. And if you can't do that really quickly, you really risk losing them. And I mean, I've played a lot of visual novels. I play many visual novels, and very few of them I find get that perfect balance. There's been a few, and when I connect with them, I think they're amazing. I love them, but so many of them are just like way too much reading, not enough interactivity, not enough leveraging of the video game medium, and a lot of there's a lot of Me Too stuff out there. So I might put a little bit more time into Inescapable, but I got to say it gives a pretty bad first impression. It's one of those where you're like, okay, I should probably get back to this. I probably should. There's dishes I better go wash the dishes.
Dishes, oh my!
And then you go wash the dishes, then you come back. You know what I mean? So.
I mean, I don't, because that sounds real like you don't want to play it. But yeah, okay.
Yeah. So there you go. So that's about it. I wish I could say that it hooked me, but it didn't hook me, and I'm not sure that I'm going to put too much more time into it. So. All right. Little Goody Two Shoes, you have been talking about this for a little while now, at least a week or so. I'm still not even clear what this game is. So I think that maybe I'm thinking of a different game when you're talking about this one. So why don't you reset me, take me back to square one, pretend like I don't know anything about this, because I don't. Little Goody Two Shoes, tell us about this game, Carlos.
It's funny because Little's in the title, and it makes me think of Little Misfortune.
Okay.
That's right? Am I saying my own favorite
That's the game that you loved. You loved that one. Yeah.
It's Lil Misfortune. I just want to make sure I don't get it wrong because I love them to death. Little Misfortune. Yeah, it's not Lil. It's or is it Lil? Little. Okay, it's Little Misfortune. So there's both Little is what I was trying to say.
Okay, yes.
So, it's funny how people find out about games. Some from our podcast. But I talk to my barista all the time, Owen, who's, been recognized on this show many times.
What up, Owen?
And he said his girlfriend was playing Little Goody Two Shoes. And it's just a crazy name to hear. And you go, what kind of game is that? And he was mentioning that she was stuck somewhere. But it was a weird game, and it was really cool and whatever. That's all I heard. So I was just intrigued just by the name alone, and maybe because my brain was like, Little Misfortune, But so it is what's interesting about it is it's a game where it's a kind of anime style, Super NES, right? So Super 16-bit style graphics of the actual game. But like, what is it called? When the
kind of super deformed.
Yeah, but then the when they show the dialogue, it's like the characters are like
a little character profile.
Yeah, character profile, and it's all anime. Like super
yeah.
So what is the game? You play as oh my goodness, Little Goody Two Shoes, but she has a name. What's her name?
Looks like Red Riding Hood or something like that.
It isn't Red Riding Hood. Let me look up her name.
You keep talking, I'll look it up.
Elise.
Sure,
I believe it's
Let's
Elise.
go with that.
Yeah. And so you play as her. Weirdly enough, the story starts off kind of sad, where she loses the woman who was taking care of her, and you're like, oh, okay, this is going to be kind of like a heartfelt thing or whatever. But immediately, as you start playing as her, she's kind of mean. Like she's just she wants a lot of like things, and she wants to be like famous and money, and so because she grew up, with nothing, and now she wants everything.
Sure.
So I was kind of thrown by the demeanor of this character, but then she also gets meaner. Like she finds someone like in the shed. I'll tell you the style of the game in a minute, but this is good to set this up. So she finds someone like rummaging, and she thinks that that girl broke into her house, but she didn't. It's pretty clearly she didn't. And so she's like mean to her, and it gives her chores and stuff. And I was like, I don't know if I care for my main character like at all, which is just weird. But how the game plays out is you're walking around this little town, you have a house, and there's a gardening thing, so there's some of that kind of simulation stuff. But it's really a narrative adventure. You go into town, and you have a day-night cycle thing. So in the day, you do these little mini-jobs for the residents. When you do a job for them, it turns into literally 8-bit style video game, where you just run back and forth, collect eggs, or try to collect apples and don't get hit, like an Atari game or something.
Okay.
Then when you finish those, it gets you money so you can buy things and resources, stuff like that. So that's like the actual main gameplay loop. But what happens is, and why this is even interesting to me, is that all sounds fine. You're a girl who's trying to make it in this little house, and you have dreams of wanting to have all the success, and you're doing chores for people, and in general, she doesn't like the townsfolk. She doesn't like anything she's doing. She's kind of grumpy. And then a weird, macabre, kind of dark, they call it phantasmagorical horror, like narrative shows up where something kind of shows up. She goes to a dream world, and this other force is watching her and trying to pull her to this dark side. Which now that makes sense because the whole game set up the fact that she kind of already was like over people, you know? So that is the most interesting thing about it. Not the gameplay loop itself, but just kind of seeing where this story's going to go and the fact that there's multiple endings. And so all your choices matter, blah, blah. It's just weird. It's like, you know, you always like that H.P. Lovecraft stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's got like this darkness to it with this cutesiness to it. And it also has the decisions, like what are you going to do? But the gameplay loop itself isn't like super anything to write home about. But you're also doing things like running around in the dark and like it feels like a horror game all of a sudden. And you know, have to find your way out of a room or something. It's hard to explain this game as I'm saying words. As I just said all those words, I don't know if I explained anything.
And there's been a lot of like kind of 16-bit horror games lately. I can think of a couple that have come across my desk in the last month or two. And it seems like one of those, it reminds me a little bit of, oh gosh, what was that one that I loved? There was one that I absolutely loved that's really kind of gave me vibes of this one. And boy, I sure can't remember it. I'll look it up. Anyway, but yeah, so I get it. So it's like kind of a 16-bit and like kind of verges into horror, kind of surprised you a little bit, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But so do you think that this girl's going to get her comeuppance, or do you think that she's going to like redeem herself possibly?
It seems like obviously there's multiple endings, but I feel like they're pushing you towards, you know, going to the dark side. Like it's obvious from the beginning. This character doesn't like people. She's kind of like quick to judge. She finds herself, I find her like apologizing a lot. And I'm like, I think that's a bad like personality trait. Like she's mean and then apologizes, there's a word for that, right?
I'm sure there is. It's probably German.
Nice. It says right here in the description, will Elise risk it all for the sake of a dream come true or settle for humble day-to-day life? I guess you might be able to pick, in quotes, a good ending, but they really push you to be mean. And I will say I've played like a chunk of it, and I just kept doing the mean options because it felt like her character, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, you should come to church. And she's like, fuck church. You know, like, I mean, she didn't say that, but.
Effectively, yeah.
Yeah,
okay, I
she
remember
basically
what it is.
doesn't like people. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to play the character as that. And I'm going to go to the dark side then. So
what this is reminding me of, I don't think you've played these games, but this is reminding me a lot of the Count Lucanor, which I played.
Right. Yes, it does have that vibe.
The Count Lucanor, which I loved, and also Yuppie Psycho is what it kind of reminds me of, kind of in that same basket.
Yep.
So I love those two games. If this is giving me the right vibes, if I'm picking up what you're putting down, then maybe I should check into this one.
Yeah, and the thing I talked about, those mini games are just like super fast, right?
Yeah.
They're just to serve a purpose, which is to give you, you know, resources and stuff. And I also say this, the only thing that is a pain, which I don't like in any game, is that you have to eat food.
You have a hunger meter?
You have a hunger meter. Yeah.
Oh, what? Really?
I know, and almost going to make you bounce probably. But like,
oh my God.
You have
is it a hassle or is it no big deal?
No, so far it's been okay, but I did find myself, what happens is it actually changes the screen. Like if you get too hungry, she gets a little dizzy, you know, and the screen gets weird. But you always make money and you always can buy or make food. You eat bread and pretzels and stuff, and then it just heals at you. But I did get like drowsy a bunch of times. But then I always had enough stuff to get food. And you can get hurt and get, you know, I guess you can die. I don't know if I died, but you can get hurt and stuff like that. There's like health meter and food meter. So, you know, it's not just walking through this game. So those are kind of interesting. And I don't really care for the mini games. It's just kind of, they're there. But it's more about like moving to the next narrative beat and seeing what happens.
All right. Well, you kind of have piqued my interest. If it's in the same bucket as those other ones that I enjoy, maybe I'll check it out for sure. Because I do love a really kind of small, kind of unexpectedly horror type narrative, which seems like it's kind of in that same group of titles. So
yeah. And Undertale. There's a little Undertale in there too.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I get you. All right. Cool. All right. I think you've sold me on this one.
Yeah. I still like it. I don't know if I made that clear, but I really like it.
Let's finish with I still like it.
I still like it.
All right.
Cool.
Good. All right. That was Little Goody Two Shoes. Let me talk for a minute about Jagged Alliance 3.
Oh no.
Oh, why oh no?
Well, here's what I'll do before the review or before you
Uh-oh.
talk about it.
Oh no. Okay.
I've liked Jagged Alliance before, but the last review I just saw was like, oh, you can't go back. Sometimes you can't go back
Oh, really?
to the
Okay.
past. But you might like it, so let's hear.
So after I had my heart, I guess at least temporarily broken by Lamplighters League, I was like, oh my God, I still want to play some tactics, some turn-based tactics. I want to play something. And I heard some people talking about this one. I know that Dan at Game Critics reviewed this for us. And if I remember correctly, I seem to remember he liked it fair enough. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's worth a shot. There isn't like a lot of turn-based tactics coming out right now. So it's not like I've got a million to choose from or anything. So I jumped into it. I didn't really know a lot about it. I've never played the other Jagged Alliance games. I guess they were on PC like 20 years ago or something. This is like 20 years between sequels, which I think caught a lot of people by surprise. So I don't have any experience with the previous games. I was just kind of coming to it fresh. But I've heard some people, as I was asking around, they were saying, oh, it's kind of like a contemporary of like the original XCOM back in the day. So I'm like, okay, that kind of gives me a frame of reference a little bit. Because the original XCOM is a lot different than modern XCOM.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so this is about an island that is taken over by some, I don't know, militia or something. They kidnap the president, and the president's daughter hires you. You are the coordinator of mercenaries to come to this island and free them and get the president back and put things right. The very first screen of the game, they're like, this is a parody. We are making fun of these things, so just know that, which is kind of an ominous way to start a game. It's almost like, oh no, what's coming that you needed to warn me that you were going to do comedy, right? Like good comedy, I don't think you need a warning for. And so that kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop. I was not ready for that. So I get into it. And it is a very, very, like, to be perfectly frank, I think the best summation of this game is like, I'm surprised it's on console is how I can say that. Like, there's so many little bits and bobs to this game. Lots of little, like, you have like 3 different command windows that you need to toggle between because there's so many commands. It's the kind of game where you're like, your guy is like standing, he's crouching and he's prone, and you got to like choose between those things. Basically, there's a lot of stuff going on here. And I think it's pretty tough to parse, even for me as somebody who's very experienced with tactics games. This is like very PC ass tactics games.
I was just gonna say that it sounds like a PC game.
Yeah, they go even harder than the stuff that we get on console for sure. So basically, it's like kind of an isometric view. I mean, colorful graphics. It seems fine. Gets the job done. You start the game, and I just felt like I was floundering a little bit. So like, yeah, hire some mercenaries and get to work. And I'm like, okay, I guess. I mean, maybe just start me off with a team, and then maybe take it from there. But I hired 3 people at random. And then I went to this island, and I was a little bit confused about how to move around. I'm like, okay, wait, where am I going? What's going on? And then you start the mission, and I just needed more of a walkthrough about how this game even works, right? Like, the last sequel is 20 years ago. I mean, I'm sure there are people around who remember it, but I am not one of them. And so a little bit more of a hand-holding would have been good at the beginning. So I'm trying to figure out, how do you ambush somebody? Or like, how do you set things up? And it just seemed like you got really tossed in the deep end right off the bat, right?
It's like they expect you to know what the first 2 games were.
I mean, I guess, which is kind of crazy because it was decades ago. But yeah, it's almost like they expect you to walk right into it and just be like back at home or something. So I don't think the tutorial really got the job done very well. And I'm no stranger to tactics games, but I am definitely a console tactics games. This is like one step even further than what I'm used to. So there was like a lot of like, you know, lots of windows and stuff, and like money management and all this little like status management and stuff. And it just was like very like a lot of stuff to deal with. And it didn't, I mean, I think they did an okay job mapping it to controller, but it kept reminding me, I bet this works a lot better with a mouse. Like when you can just point to all these little windows instead of trying to navigate through them and stuff, you know?
Mouse and keyboard, yeah.
Yeah, it does not feel like it has console sensibilities, which is fair. But I did play it on console, so that's kind of where I was at, right? So I stumble my way through the first mission. I do like okay, but my guy takes damage, and I'm like, ooh, I'm not doing too good. I'm not sure what's going on here. I get to the second mission, and I get rocked. Like, I just get destroyed, and I'm like, oh, shit. Like, what the hell? Like, I was missing my shots, and the dudes were just, like, ripping me up. One of my people died right off the bat. And strangely, one of my other people lost morale, and they ran off. They were not listening to orders anymore.
Oh,
So like I
snap.
basically, yeah, they just like they climbed up on top of the house and they ran across the roof and they jumped into the jungle and left.
I
And it was
kind of
like,
love that, by the way. I
I mean,
low key love that.
I kind of do too, but also it fucked me like severely
Yeah.
because they, one person's dead, the other person bolts. All I got left is one guy, and I'm surrounded by like four other guys. There's no way you're gonna win that battle, and I didn't. And I'm just like, okay, like I don't need this right now. I don't need this kind of punishment right now. I was hoping to kind of sink into something and just get some tactics under my belt and play for a little bit. But like this seems like I need to like work very hard to learn it, especially on console where everything is kind of like in a wonky place with the
Yeah.
controller and everything. So that was a pretty bad first impression. And I mean, real talk, I just wasn't in the mood for it. I'm like, I'm not here for this right now. Maybe I'll come back to it, but not right now. This is not my jam right now.
Well,
so I
that's
bounced.
Okay, well, that's a different reason than why I think the other person I read said they didn't like it. Because it's like a style thing. It's like it seems like a PC game on console. I don't remember even playing the first one, but I know of it. We both knew of it, right?
Yeah, I knew of it, but I had never had any personal experience with it. But
Yeah. All right.
well, I will say one final note. I think that their comedy disclaimer. I mean, I can see why they put it in there because it's not funny. Like none of it's funny. The people talk all the time, and it's just like really inane, dumb chatter. And I was like, oh my god, I hope I can turn this off because it's the kind of stuff where it's not. It's almost like they want it to be a one-liner, but it's not really funny, and you're hearing this prattling over and over and over, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just no. Not digging it. Not digging it. So, all right. Jagged Alliance 3. I bounced. Hard bounce on that one. Yeah, man.
Oh, before we go to the next game.
Yes.
Asterix.
Asterisk. Yes.
While you were pontificating.
What?
Yeah.
I was pontificating.
What was that? Is that wrong usage? I just wanted to say that word.
I mean, it's kind of like what you say when someone's like all full of themselves or kind of keep talking. You can't shut them up.
So
and
it was wrong. It was wrong use. Never mind. As you were discussing Jagged Alliance 3.
I mean, I was like, oh, are you saying something, Carlos? Did I go on too long? Oh,
nice.
man. I'm getting cut
you
down
weren't,
in
you
real
weren't
time.
pontificating.
Okay.
You could call it the Not Pontificate podcast. No, don't do that. I just checked this bed we made. It just like hit resume or whatever. Just because PlayStation has resume activity.
Are you playing games right now?
No, I'm not playing. I just said I just hit resume because I wanted to make sure if it was still broken, and it seems like it might not be broken anymore.
Oh,
That's
good.
all I'm
Okay.
saying. I didn't play any. I just wanted to hit resume, see if it crashed. It didn't do any crashes. So hopefully, fingers crossed, people listening to this podcast, go just download it because I think it might be fine now.
After the podcast, play some more. Send me a text. Let me know if it's actually fixed. If it is fixed, I'll go buy it.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah,
Experience.
but I refuse to buy any more broken games this year. I've already got several.
That's right. That's right. Okay,
I'm done.
I'll
Okay.
let you know.
Okay, over to you, Carlos, for a game which I looked at and I was very puzzled by, and then I moved on because my life is really full right now. Bem Feito, Bemfaito, is that right?
Yeah, I don't know. I would say Feito. Yeah, not Feito. Feito.
Bem Feito. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that stands for something. I didn't look it up. I did absolutely like the least amount of homework I could do for any podcast this week.
I will look it up right now. Go ahead.
But I do know this. They call it a life sim with horror again coming in. So it's like, it's much more than that. But yeah, there is that kind of horror element. So I played 2 games this week that are indies that have kind of a cutesiness to them, but then they have a horror thing. All before, like we should have played this in Halloween, but whatever. So what is this game? I don't know. I'm going to probably try to do the same exact thing I did with Little Goody Two Shoes. But what intrigued me is the art. It's very simple, like, again, 16-bit graphic style. It's not 2D, it's 3D, but it's like 2D on 3D, that style. You have a little character, looks like very like Earthbound or any of those games.
Yeah, kind of very cartoony-ish.
Cartoony-ish. Very simple colors, meaning like 3 colors, purple, white, blue, kind of black. And you play as a little character in a video game, and he's, it's a life sim for this character. By the way, is his name Bem?
I don't know, but I do know this game is from Latin America, is where it comes. I think
Okay.
it comes from Brazil, I believe.
Take control of General Chores. No, where's his name? Oh, Reginaldo. Reginaldo.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so this is the idea. You're going to control this character in this game, and it's a life sim. Kind of, you think like a very, very light version of a Harvest Moon, where you're fishing and doing things and tending to garden and mowing the lawn. But it's not really about that at all. It's kind of a creepy, fucked up thing. Where in the very beginning of the game, it says there's a cartridge, which is this game you're playing. It was for the Megacorp, like a fictitious kind of Sega Genesis kind of console. And so when you load up the game, it's all very like VHS style. The menus look like that, and old school 90s or whatever. And you have an interface where you have the cartridge, you have folders like you're looking at a desktop. It essentially boots up like an old school 90s OS, and you can like go through the different folders and like look and read the manual and look at files. And then at some point you're going to double click the actual file because you're playing like an emulated version of this game that supposedly was like lost or something, right? What's that other thing that was like there was like arcade console that was supposed to be haunted?
This reminds me of like Pony Island or
Pony Island, yeah, and that game
something like that, or Frog Fractions a little bit, not the scary aspect, but kind of like the
where there's a
weird
game
kind of
within a game. It's a meta, right?
Yeah.
So you have this OS, you kind of like are looking around, trying to figure out clues, and then you just actually play the game. So I did get stuck, and I'll tell you why. But you basically start off as a little character. He's got a house. It has a bunch of chores for you to do. Definitely felt like little goody two shoes. I went and did these chores, and then there's kind of a weirdness going on where like characters will show up to come visit you, and they all got kind of a weird thing going on. And you're like, okay, cool. Well, you got to go now. I don't know. You've overstayed your welcome. And first character who stopped by, I kind of letting him leave. And then I went down to the sewer, and that's the other part where it started getting weird, where I just walked into a section of the sewer and the whole screen started freaking out and your face kind of freaked out. And I was like, I should not go back down there. So I went back home, and then day 2 happened, and I did more chores. And here's what you can tell what the game's going to be like. Similar to the other one you just said. What's it? The Count Lucanor or something?
Count Lucanor, yeah.
Yeah, Lucanor. Where like you meet your next guest who stops by, almost like Animal Crossing, but messed up. And it's a fiery guy. He's like a fireball guy.
Like literally.
Like a fire. Yeah, he's on fire. And so it goes, take your friend for a swim. And I was like, that's fucked up. He's fire,
Right.
But you have certain objectives, and if you don't finish them, you just can't beat it. You have to do certain objectives. So I had to do that objective to progress to the next day. So I brought him over to the pool or the water, the lake, and I go, hey, let's go for a swim. And he's like, fuck, no, I can't. It's bad.
Yes, I am fire. This is water. We don't mix.
And he seems sad too. And so I was like, no, it's going to be fine or something, which is fucked up. And so he jumps in and he fucking dies. And they show blood, which is weird because he's fire.
Had blood?
Yeah, the fire had blood. And so this is the game. Like, it's just going to progressively get more fucked up and weird. And I don't know if I'm there for it. But the main reason I stopped was because, similar to the story of all the games today, not a crash, but I straight up am stuck. Like, it says tend to the vegetables, and I don't know what the fuck to do because I've used all the tools on it, and I can't tend to the fucking vegetables. So I'm stuck because I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm sure everybody listening right now who's playing it is like, you moron, just do this.
Are there any guides for it or anything?
I'm sure there is now. I played it when it first came out, like the night of, So this is all like the first hour it came out. But I still got the vibe. I know what they're doing, right? They're doing that thing where it's a menu within a menu. It's a meta about this game and the company who made the game. And there's a horror element. And the OS is probably haunted, right? So that's the vibe. And I think it's still cool. Like, it's really interesting. But I just need to be able to, like, get past where I'm stuck. You get the vibe, right? I made sense.
Yeah, I think so. I looked at it, and I got to be honest, the art did not appeal to me. I think if the art was a different style, it probably would have appealed to me more conceptually, because I think the concept is pretty solid. But just looking at it, it did not delight my eyes.
Okay.
And so I decided to move on because I just didn't like looking at the screenshots, and I'm like, this is not my vibe, and I got so much on my plate right now that I have other stuff that I do want to get to. So I let it go, but it sounds fairly interesting what you're saying.
It's fairly interesting, and I think it's going to get dark as hell if I, when I get past this one section. So it was such a, I don't think I've ever played a game where so early on I felt like bad. Like I felt really bad about what I just did.
Well, it must be effective then, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's fucking effective. Yeah. So
Yeah, it reminds me of like Lisa a little bit that we played recently,
Right.
where
yeah.
I immediately did some rotten shit, and I'm like, I don't want to play this anymore because I feel like this is terrible. And
Oh my goodness, I could have just said this game's Lisa. Yeah, that'd have been easier.
well, I would have understood, but I don't think our listeners might have gotten that. So
Okay.
I'm glad you explained what you did.
Yeah, there it
All
is.
right.
I played a bunch of weird indie games that made me feel kind of weird.
Okay, there we go. Let me talk for a minute about Jusant. We're talking about that now.
Yes, and I actually told you about that game, didn't
You
I?
did. You told me about it last week, so I went to go play it. And actually, it's funny that we talked about John from Gaming in the Wild because he just did an episode on Jusant, and I wanted to see what his opinion was. And so I listened to his show, and I've heard other people talking about it, and I'm here bringing my own opinion, and I feel like my opinion is basically different than everybody else's opinion out there. So
Oh.
good counterpoint, I guess. Most
Okay.
people are in love with this game right now, and I get it. I can see why. But I'm on the other side of this. But let's start at the beginning here. Jusant is from Don't Nod, and I love Don't Nod. I think they're doing a lot of really cool, interesting things. They don't always work for me, but I love the approach they're taking. I love what they're doing. I love them as a developer. They're being pretty experimental. Lots of cool ideas. They're swinging for the fences, and I adore them. So I think even though this is one that didn't work for me, I'm so glad that they tried it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that they made it. And I mean, I could be, out in left field here. It seems like a lot of people are queuing this one up for award season. So we'll see.
Whoa, really?
We'll see.
They're the famously Life is Strange people, right?
Yeah, Life is Strange. They did a couple others recently that I played, and it's like I kind of like all their games, even though I don't like necessarily love them all, and I don't necessarily connect with them all. But they're like one of those developers. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm glad you did that. That didn't work for me, but man, that's so cool you did that, and I like
Right.
it, but not for me, kind of a thing.
Oh yeah, they did Vampire too.
I did like Vampire. That wasn't what's it called, or Vampire.
Vampire, like the Y, yeah. And
I did like that one.
Remember Me, which I actually liked back in the day.
I like the idea of Remember Me, but
Oh
I
no,
didn't
no,
like
Remember
playing
Me
it.
is something else. Okay, never mind. That's a different one. That's Neo Paris one. Yeah, Captain Spirit. I was like, take or leave it. Tell me why. Yeah, there's a bunch of where it's like,
Yeah.
I think I like what you're doing, but I'm not sure. Okay.
They also did another one that was just on the Switch from just this year, which is actually going to be one of my favorite games. Oh, Gerda, A Flame in Winter was amazing. Love
Right.
Gerda.
Yep.
So this is Don't Nod. Like they're good people. I'm down with Don't Nod, right? So Jusant, what is it? It is a third-person climbing game. It kind of has like, I think Journey is the one that people are most comparing it to, where like there's no real dialogue, and you don't quite know what's going on, but there's like this thing you got to do, and you're kind of on this path to go do it. The game starts with you as being a kid wearing some kind of a weird coat, like a furry coat, and Inuit glasses. He is in the desert, and so he puts those on to stop himself from getting sun blinded. So it kind of tells you a lot right off the bat, like very sunny, deserty environment. He's got a little, I don't know, frog-like creature in his backpack that looks kind of like a sentient drop of water, kind of like a frog, kind of like a Pokemon sort of a thing.
Okay.
And you're just walking towards this column. It's like it starts at the ground, and you're in this flat-ass desert, and it just goes from the ground all the way past the clouds. So there's this column of rock, and it's huge. It's enormous. And so you immediately know, oh shit, okay, I'm going to be climbing this thing, and this thing is tall as fuck, and I can't even see the top of it. And so you got to climb. So you get there, and it's immediately obvious what's going on. There's boats all over the place, but this is a desert, which means there used to be water here, and now it's gone. And I know a lot of people I've spoken to are like, oh, I'm so curious about what happened to the water. And I'm like, I don't care. The water's gone. That's all I need to know. Like, that's not a mystery for me to solve. That's an ecological disaster.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe it's too much of the moment or something, but I'm just like, I don't give a fuck why the water's gone. I see the water's gone. I get it. This used to be an ocean. Now it's gone. Just like Kansas. Okay. I'm good. I am no longer curious about this. What I was curious about is the kid and his journey. But before we get to that, you're going to start climbing almost immediately. And this really threw me for a loop. I know some people are really praising the climbing mechanics. I find them to be okay. I've played actually several climbing games that are like this, where left trigger is your left hand, right trigger is your right hand. And so when you want to grab onto something, let's say, for example, you're on this ledge, you want to grab a rock, you point with your left stick and you pull the left trigger, your hand will grab something. Your left hand will grab it, and then you pull up, and then you let go of the right trigger, and your right hand will open, and then you grab something, and you pull the trigger, and it grabs, and you climb up. So that's pretty par for the course as far as these climbing games go. I played several of these. Struggling, not exactly a climbing game, but has the same mechanics, which I was a really big fan of. Struggling, what an amazing game Struggling was.
Are you okay?
No one played it but me and you, but I fucking finished that game. But what an amazing game.
And we have different opinions of that game.
Yeah, you hated it, but I thought it was fucking genius.
Burn in hell.
Also,
the controls, but yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the controls. Also, Tip Top Don't Fall was one I played recently on Xbox, the exact same mechanics. But here's the difference, and here's what kind of wigged me out. In most games of this kind, you are using left stick, left trigger for left hand, right stick, right trigger for right hand. In this game, you are only using the left stick for both your hands. And my brain melted the fuck down, dude. I was like, I can't, what's going on? Because they use the camera control for right stick, which is not usually the case in a game like this. So I was like, this feels very like simplified, and it just didn't grab me as much as it has in other games where like you're really working for every inch. I mean, it's easier for sure. And I don't think that they meant this to be like a balls hard climbing sim, which I get, that's fine. But it just kind of threw me for a loop, right? Because I've played so many of these, and it's like, it looks like the same, but it's not the same. And just that little bit of difference was really strange to my hands.
But it's not harder. It's not harder.
No, it's easier, way easier.
Oh, okay.
It's easy. It's easy to the point where basically all you need to do, not always, but in many sections, is you just point a direction and you just spam the trigger left, right, left, right, left, right, and it kind of just climbs. Like, it's not even a big deal, right? So, which is fine. It was just strange to me. So you climb up this tower and there's no talking, and you find a bunch of notes, and immediately I'm just like shut down. I'm like, I don't care about notes, because just like, to take a real life example, if you were to come into my house, let's say 1,000 years from now, me and my entire family are dead. It's just like it's like a archaeological site. Mm-hmm. And you were coming to my house and you're like, okay, let's find out what Brad Galloway was doing back in 2023. You wouldn't know shit, because there's no notes around my fucking house.
Nice. We don't leave notes.
There's no fucking notes on my house. You might, if you're lucky, find my grocery list that I write up on a whiteboard once a week, but you're not going to find Post-its to me, to my wife, from my kid to my neighbor, nothing. And it just wrecks my brain whenever someone's like, yes, this society is built on Post-it notes and we leave them all over the place.
Right.
I'm just like, okay, I'm out. Okay, but whatever.
By the way, like, the name of the podcast is No Notes.
No Notes. That's pretty good. Good. I'm going to write that down.
You're right, though. We don't leave them. I mean, we leave like digital media.
Like maybe, yeah, computer. Like, you could find out some stuff on my computer, find my phone, but like, you're not going to find a note or anything. Like, it kind of makes me think of like, what is that one, the very famous one about you go into the haunted house, and it was one that everybody quotes. Go home? No.
Gone Home.
Gone Home.
Yeah, tons of notes. Like tons of notes.
It was wall-to-wall Post-its, dude. Diaries, Post-it stickers. Like, I was like, holy shit, what is going on in this house? These people are crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway. So I was not picking up on the story. I didn't give a shit about the notes. I hate notes in games. It's like a personal thing. The weakest, most like ineffective way to tell a story ever. But you start climbing, and I'm having some issues because they're not really very specific about which way you're supposed to go. Like, it's almost like open-ish a little bit, but you're on this giant column, and so there's only so many places you can go, but still it's like, well, where, maybe I'm going this way, and eventually you find your way, but you can ask your little frog buddy for a hint, and like, the hint he gives you is so fucking vague. It's like blue glow above you. Okay, yeah, no shit. I gotta go up. Yeah, okay, I figured that much. But like, I just need like some more specific hints, because I was often going places that I wasn't supposed to go, and I didn't know I wasn't supposed to go there until I got there. And then when you take your character into places where they don't want you to go, it's glitchy. It's really glitchy. Like, I was bouncing off walls, and like my rope that you are climbing with is clipping all over the place and stuff. And I was just like, okay, this sucks. Like, I got had to get myself unstuck a few times. I'm like, jump, and I'm trying to like glitch, like kind of like how you're breaking through walls. I'm trying to get myself out of a wall, right, and get myself unstuck. So that was kind of like I wish they'd give you a little bit more guidance on that aspect. But as I'm climbing up the thing, like, it's okay, like I'm climbing and I see some ledges, and you do this thing and you walk around, need a little bit more focus. But the thing that really kind of cooled me off on this game is that I think I made it about 3/4 of the way through. It's not a long experience. It may be like 3, 4, 5 hours, depending on how much time you spend getting stuck looking for collectibles like I did. But they don't ever take a moment to explain who you are, who your frog friend is, or what the fuck you're even doing there. There's like a million opportunities to give some perspective on the character, or to give some character about the character. Like, let's say, for example, you get done with a really tough climbing section and you pull yourself up. That would be a great moment for you to like pull out your frog buddy and give him a hug and say, oh man, we made it. You know, like, oh, that was really tough or something. Or like maybe you get halfway up the tower and you're really tired because you've been climbing like a mile, and you do like a little campfire, and the frog sings you a song, and you just sit there and you clap your hands or something, just anything like that to like get you to connect with the character. Like, they're a total cipher, and maybe something happens at the end, but like, I was like, who am I? Why am I here? I don't care. And I hear some people saying, I was so interested to find out what happened about the water. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about, who cares? the water's gone.
Yeah.
Yes. Where are the people in this tower? Well, they left because the water left. Obviously they couldn't live here anymore. They left. Who cares? I don't give a shit about that. I want to know, why am I here? Why did I come back? What's important? Who's this frog? What's going on? Nothing. Not a single goddamn cutscene. Not like I mean, you can hit like left on the D-pad and you'll pet your frog once, but like, that's it. Like, it's nothing that really tells you anything about anything. And your frog is basically just there to give you hints and stuff. It's not even really a character. So I was starving for like some character moments, or just like a little bit of purpose, or a little bit of personality. I just was dying. There was just like nothing. And the environmental storytelling was like, okay, yeah, water's gone. Get it. I'm good. The notes aren't working for me. And I just like, I felt very disconnected and just very like apathetic about everything that was going on. And that combined with the simplified controls, which again are fine, but like, if I'm not really mechanically invested in the controls, which I wasn't, and I'm not invested in the story, then there's not really anything for me here other than it's like a pretty looking game.
Which is ironic because, again, a lot of their games are all about those characters and story development stuff.
Yeah. Right? I mean, Don't Nod is like the character publisher, dude. Like, so much story, so much character, so many cool moments, like all the Life is Strange stuff and all the other stuff, even in Vampire and stuff, tons of character moments in that. And this is the one where it's just like silent protagonist, no dialogue, no personality. And it just wasn't doing it for me, man. I was dying for like a cute emote or anything that would tell me why I'm here. So I got about 3/4 of the way and I'm like, I'm done. Like, I just don't care to continue this because I don't care about what's happening.
Okay.
And I was like, what out? So, I mean, I feel like I'm in the minority. A lot of people are loving on this. A lot of people think it's great. And that's cool. I respect that. But for me, it just wasn't giving me anything of what I wanted. And I honestly was too bored.
Yeah. Well, I have two things to say about that. One, I'm not going to play it just based on your review because I think we feel the same with that. Because all the things you said seem like so many classic missed opportunities where
it's really weird.
You get to the top of the thing, you talk with your frog, you have a little story section, you know. And then secondly, it reminded me of Gone Home. Remember not Gone Home, Grow Home.
A little bit in the terms of climbing that big tower, but man.
But I guess I brought that up because when you started explaining it, that one doesn't have much story either. But it's like the mechanics are so fun. Yes. You know, it's like, and the physics and stuff are weird. But if you don't have that, then what are you holding on to?
Oh yeah, Grow Home. That's
what are you holding on to? Pun intended.
Ooh, yeah, that's another one too. That has I believe the 2-stick climbing mechanics. I'm pretty sure. Like, yeah, exactly.
For me, it was really fun. Like, it was a little difficult, but then it just felt like a risk reward thing. Felt really good in that game.
Yeah, God, I love Grow Home. I should go play that right now.
I
want to
go
play that game right now. In fact, I haven't played Grow Up, so there's a whole sequel I could play.
There is a sequel? I didn't play it either.
Yep.
I'll write it down. We'll both play Grow Up.
Grow Up. I'm gonna go play that literally right now because I could totally go for some of that.
And
that's
vibe.
The thing where the robot has so much personality, dude. Like, all you know is get to the top, but like, he's hooting, he's hollering, he does these little weird transformations. He kind of walks funny. He's got like loads of like energy and charisma. Like, they get a lot done in that game with very little, and it kind of goes to show how many opportunities Jusant is like not taking advantage of. Like, a lot of stuff left on the table there. So,
all right.
Anyway, grow up, folks.
Grow up.
Play that or Grow Home. Either way.
Yep.
All right. Last game of the show, Achilles Legends Untold. Now, we haven't talked about this at all. I don't know what your opinion is, but I was literally just looking at this.
Were you?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I know that I don't watch a lot of YouTube, but my son does. And usually he watches like 8-Bit Ryan or Markiplier or something. And like, nothing against those guys, but like, I find them to be kind of like grating on my nerves when it's 9 p.m. at night and I don't want to hear shouting coming from my TV. But my son has recently started watching Iron Pineapple, I think his name is.
Okay.
Do you know that guy?
I don't know. Iron Pineapple.
He does a lot of Souls-likes. And so he'll pick like, today's video is 6 $2 Souls-likes from Steam or something. And he picks all these like random mega crap games. But he's really chill. Like he's really chill. He's got a cool voice. And that's something that I don't mind watching at 9 p.m. So we've been watching a lot of these. And he just covered Achilles Legends Untold on one of his episodes. I think we watched it 2 days ago. So I was like, oh,
I'm interested to hear what he had to say.
Okay. So he played it a while ago. This was a video from a while ago. And he said it was like, okay, but it was too early in the process. So he was going to come back to it. He's like, this seems like it's got potential, but really rough. And it doesn't move quite right. And it did look like pretty early in the process. So he's going to circle back. We haven't gotten to that episode yet, but now you're playing, I'm assuming it must be 1.0, not early access still.
No, it's like, the 1.0 version.
It's out. Okay,
console.
so it's out and finished.
Yeah,
okay.
100%.
All right. Where are you playing? PS5?
Again, playing PS5, yeah.
Okay.
PS5 version. Which, by the way, I never bring this up to the show, but on PS5 specifically, I'm sure it's Xbox Series X too. The PS5 version, lots of times, of the games are like less file size.
That's true, yeah.
It's interesting. It's like they've optimized or something. I think that's what it is. So, yeah, I've heard people talk about they played it on Steam too, early access. This is the 1.0 version. It's also a small team. So, I always like give them, a benefit of the doubt.
Slack,
little
sure.
slack.
Yep.
I'm not expecting a huge fucking epic experience. It's not Diablo. But it has ideas and feelings and, gameplay style of Diablo and a little bit of Souls-like. I'm interested to hear what you think that reviewer said. But this is a game, Achilles. You play as Achilles. It's lightly taken from that whole like historically, time period, Greece, Trojans, right?
Famous Greek dude.
Famous Greek person. Obviously, all these kind of stories have this like, was there the gods talking to them? Was there monsters? Like what was really going on then? And so this kind of like goes into that where like there's straight up skeletons, there's straight up giant crabs, there's like monsters, right?
Gotcha.
And there's also metaphysical stuff and ghosts, and so it's leading into that kind of like this is a RPG, with fantasy stuff, but it's also based on reality. And there's a minor spoiler on what this whole game is. I guess I won't say it, but you start doing the tutorial is like an actual thing that happened in history, and then you're whisked away to some other place, and now things are a little weird, right? So it mixes together,
loosely based on Greek stuff.
Yeah,
Greek legends. Gotcha.
And it kind of sets you up in the beginning with like taking place in a historical actual thing that happened, giving you understand the commands and how you do everything. And then you get to this area where like, okay, now it's a little different and there's also monsters and there's also still real people and a real issue going on. But how's the game play? It's that thing where it looks just like Diablo. It's like a Diablo style type game. You run around, you have a dodge, by the way. I like the dodge. I like the dodge.
Okay, and isometric, right?
Isometric, yeah. A little bigger characters than normal, not like teeny. I think they're a little bigger. Your dodge is a dodge if you double tap it. If you hold it, it's a run, and if you just tap it lightly, it's like a true like backup dodge, right?
So like a little backstep thing.
Yeah, backstep.
Okay,
so it's like all the things in one, and they do a really good job of it. And I'm a hard judge of that.
Okay, so it feels good. What's what I'm hearing so far.
Yep.
Okay.
And that uses stamina, right? So you'll hear people talk about this in the same vein as some Souls-like kind of stuff. I'll explain why this is not that really at all. So the dodge, you would think like, oh, that's like a Souls-like. This is very loose. There's not like a Dark Souls game where like you've got to be very precise on your dodge and then counterattack, all that stuff. This is like a Diablo. So, long story short, this is more Diablo than it is Souls.
Okay,
100%, right?
And it looks that way too. It looks like a Diablo.
Yeah. And by the way, I just looked up on their game page, which is interesting. It says they're using some sort of group systems that govern AI cooperation. And I've kind of noticed that because like people who will come attack me, they seem pretty smart. Like they'll go around the back of me, they'll flank me and stuff. And that does make, again, actually to my point earlier, I didn't even plan that, it makes the moment-to-moment stuff more interesting, right? Because it feels different.
More engaging than just like mob rush straight towards you.
Yes. And these are the things. This is not going to replace a writer. This is just like a dynamic, right? And the dynamic does make this like I meet random, soldiers or skeletons, and I think I've got to think about my setup a bit more. But what I really want to focus on is this is not Souls-like. So the only Souls-like main thing is that there are, of course, these little hubs like, bonfires. That's where you go to level up your character. That's where you go to rest. And when you rest, yes, it does reset. But it resets only, it says some of them. Which I think
enemies, you mean?
Yeah, enemies. So I think it's a very, very nuanced, small thing that we've always talked about. How can people take a Souls-like thing and then make it their own? This is kind of the definition of that game. Okay, because one, it says some of the enemies. I can't tell which ones have been reborn or whatever, but I don't think it's all of them. Because when I came back, there was a couple main enemies, but some were gone still. So I kind of love that. It's
so maybe you killed 10 guys on your way up there, and then you do the bonfire, and maybe there's 5 guys.
Maybe there's 5 guys. Yeah, I don't think it was all of it. I know in the menu it says where some enemies repeat. So I was like, okay, that's cool.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, I think in a game like this that's maybe more Diablo leaning, you want to keep making forward progress. You don't want to keep like killing the same guys over and over. So maybe lightening that load the second time through kind of encourages you to keep pushing on. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Right. And I think it's even less of progress, which I'd like, but more like it just doesn't make it as difficult, right?
Yeah.
Because, but this is a huge thing for us to say, though. You said that makes sense, but this is we've review every game, play every game. This hasn't happened before. Usually when we review a game that uses a Souls-like thing, they fucking stick to it. You know what I mean? I just played that one game, I can't remember what it's called, where it was light and dark, and you have like a spirit like of a ghost of your sister on your back.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah,
that one again. That's one of the ones where it's like, it kind of broke out of that mold. It's few and far between that those games do that. Usually they're like, okay, this is it. All the enemies are back, and this is important. Like you just said, it's more Diablo because it's more forgiving. I'm not dying. I'm not dying crazy, right?
Like you don't need to parry a bunch to survive.
Like just moving forward. I'm just being like a good Diablo player. And now it does that thing where like you can get hit, for a lot of health really quickly. Yes, it does that. But you also fucking upgrade, and there's a huge skill tree, and there's tons of armor and stuff. And you also have a crafting thing and an upgrade your armor thing. So just unlike Souls, I feel way more in control of my own fate. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Yeah, makes perfect sense.
I'm like,
sure.
I know that I'm strong now, right? I've done the right work. I've done the homework. I've done my crafting. I've upgraded my shield. Actually, I switched to two-handed sword because, of course. And I, can parry with or can block with the two-handed sword, which feels viable. And that's also rare. There's just so many rare things about this. Newsflash, spoiler, I love this game.
Okay, good. All right.
It's an indie Diablo game that has little teeny bits of Souls-like, but it's not a Souls-like game at all. That's not what this game is. And I think that maybe some of the marketing's saying that, some of the YouTubers are saying that. It just has that thing where some enemies come back, and some enemies can really knock you down quickly, right? And that's, I guess, a Souls-like thing.
Well, it's interesting you say this because I've been dying for more people to get off of the Souls-like train. So many of them are just following lockstep.
Right, that's what
in
I'm
the
saying.
footsteps. Yeah, exactly, of what FromSoft is doing. When I think the real path forward here and the real takeaway is be inspired by Souls-like and be inspired by From, but do your own thing. And this sounds like maybe they are inspired by aspects of it.
That's it.
But they are not like following directly slavishly in their footsteps, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly it. And also there are different weapons, right? So you could do sword and shield. You can do two-handed sword. You can do poison daggers, right? So they're letting you do a little bit of Diablo there, like pick your style. But in that thing, again, they're not saying you're prohibited to do this one enemy this one way. You can kind of pick your way to do it.
Yeah.
So you mix those two together, and you have a pretty cool combo. Because I'm not feeling defeated. I'm not feeling like I can't do anything or get past this one enemy. The bosses, which I fought 2 already, it made sense to me. I understood what my abilities were at the time and my play style. Also, if you have a shield, there are some magical abilities at some point for different weapons, and one of them for the shield was throw your shield. So it felt very God of War because it comes back to you.
Yeah.
And by the way, every build has a kick button. So such like Assassin's Creed or whatever, right? That kick, you kick people off the ledge and stuff.
That's fun. Yeah.
It's super helpful in this one. It's a super defensive thing where like you're surrounded by a bunch of people, you kick a skeleton away, he goes flying, you don't have to worry about him, and then you attack. Strong attack, light attack, dodging around. It feels great, dude. I fucking really like it.
Excellent. All right, cool. All right.
Yeah. And again, it's super pared down. It's not like, you can see the limit in the graphics. You can see the limit in the story. It's fine. It's not what you're playing. You're playing it because it's really fun to play.
So let me ask you. So you seem pretty up on this, which is great because I was kind of looking at this one, and you've kind of talked about having control over your character. But like in terms of this specifically the skill tree itself, like do you feel like is there many separate builds you can do, or like is it kind of just like one main character but like little flavors of the different character, or like what kind of skill tree are we talking about here?
Well, I'm glad you brought it up. It's almost like you read my mind. Or we've been doing a podcast for a while.
We've only been doing a podcast for several hundred episodes.
Yeah. It's because that's the only issue that is not a bad issue, but like there's that thing where it's like Skyrim where it's like a constellation and you can see your skill tree in the constellation, in space or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's got like directions, right? So like if you go to the right and down that tree, it's like endurance, and the left is like strength, and then there's a health one, But the actually unique things, like I just unlocked, get health back every time you like hurt somebody or something.
Mm-hmm.
That was really buried further down.
Okay.
And so it's like hard to tell which one's which. It almost feels like the skill tree is essentially just get better at your stats.
Oh, gotcha.
And then buried in them, very far down is like, now you can do a counter move. Now you get health back.
Can you see them, or do you not
can.
know?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, you can. Okay.
So it's like I'm just now trying to like figure out which way I want to go. It's a little daunting, and I don't think it's like super done well. Okay, so that's a kind of slight con. And some of them you can do twice for some reason. So if you unlock a skill, like it gives you +1 strength, you can unlock it again. And I was confused by that. Yeah, and that was +1 again or something, +2. It's a little confusing, but it's mainly like just get better, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, this game is really fun. It feels like that Assassin's Creed Odyssey kind of vibe, but then there's fantasy, and then there's Diablo, and there's a little bit of Souls.
All right, so one more question before I let you go off of this. So how's the loot? Because in a game like this, are we talking about you get one cool sword every half hour and you're like, oh, amazing, new cool sword? Or is it like every 5 seconds you get a new sword and you're constantly switching out? Or like in between? Like what's the loot drop rate like?
They might be doing this because it's the beginning of the game, but it's that thing where you go to a certain area of the map and there's a chest, beat all the monsters, get the chest. It's a new style of weapon. Do you know what I mean? So like we've got a very steady stream in the beginning of this game, let's say the first 2 hours, of like a bunch of different types of weapons. So I was like, okay, pick your style. I can't speak to what happens next, right? Like the next part of the map or whatever. I don't know. But it seems like this game isn't a loot game like Diablo. So to answer your question, it's a story-driven game. It's a slower game. And it's a system, fun kind of gameplay loop game where you're just having fun doing it. It's not really about finding new shit, right?
Well, that's perfect. That sounds like music to my ears because I'm kind of over loot games where like you're just showered in loot on, you're constantly switching up stuff. I do like stuff that's a little bit slower, a little bit more contemplative. So
it's super slower. Like it's kind of a slow ass game. And like, like Diablo, there's cellars, Diablo, you go down these cellars, then there's like a little area, clear it out and you get something.
Sure.
Each one of those feels really cool because they're really small. And it's like you just go down, get something, fight some monsters, and leave. So all of it just feels contained. And it's an indie team, right? It's a small game in general. But I really like my experience, and I think I'm just going to power through it. Like it's jumped to the top of my list of what I'm playing.
Nice. Okay. Nice. I've been seeing this one for a while, and it's been around for a while. But I think based on what we just talked about, you were kind of saying all the things that I wanted to hear. So I think maybe twice this episode you've sold me on something.
Nice. Well, this is a good one to pick up. I think it'll be up your alley.
All right, Achilles, Legends Untold. That definitely sounds like a check it out.
Check it out for sure.
Check it out. All right, folks. That is the end of the game section. We got through basically every single game out there. But before we go, even though the game portion of our show is officially done, we do have a few non-games things to mention this week. Carlos, what do you want to talk about that's not about games?
Oh my goodness, a few things. One, I'm watching The Killer, which is on Netflix. It just came out.
Oh yeah, I saw the trailer for that.
David Fincher, which I like. I think everything he's done. I really do like his.
What else has he done?
Everything.
I saw that. It was good.
It's Everything All Here at Once. No, it's not him.
No, he didn't do that.
Seven, Social Network.
Okay, gotcha.
Dark stuff. He works with Atticus and Trent a lot for soundtracks, and they're in this movie as well.
Okay.
As well as the Smiths for some reason. There's a lot of Smiths music. I didn't finish it. It's one of those things where like we talk about movies. Sometimes we just watch them in chunks, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
It's perfect. I started it last night, and literally I finished a section, and it went to this next section, and it goes chapter 2 or whatever. And I was like, oh, perfect. That's a place to stop.
Perfect stopping point.
Yeah.
There you go. Pause. Yes.
I'm sure he did that on purpose because he knows, people, attention spans. I just want to say one thing about it. So it's a dark movie about a hitman killer, like contract killer, right? Think Hitman the video game, but more realistic than Hitman because Hitman has a movie, and it's like, I think like the video game.
Yeah.
So what was interesting about this, and this is another thing to sell you/people on it, it's a spoiler. So jump ahead if you want to know a spoiler for this.
Okay, jump ahead 2 minutes. Sure.
It's important to tell people. They spend the whole first chunk of this chapter narrative stuff, right? So it's just voiceover of the character, the hitman. And you can take or leave that, but it's like he's setting up to do a job, and he is like super meticulous, and you're like, oh, this guy's a fucking pro, right? He's Hitman. Here's a spoiler. His first job, which they spend 35 minutes like getting ready to do, and he is like, everything he's done perfectly, his breathing and stuff like that. He fucking misses.
Oh no.
He like shoots a woman. Like he really misses. And then it's just panic of him like leaving. This is like the first 30 minutes of the movie. The movie's like 2.5 hours. That really intrigued me. Like more than a Hitman movie. Because if it's just the dude who's fucking amazing,
right,
like, I don't care as much. But that made him superhuman, and like he was freaking out. And then I was freaking out with him, right? Like watching the movie and go like, oh, is he going to fucking get caught? I don't know anything about the movie else about it. Like that caught me. And I was like, I got to finish this.
Okay, well, that's interesting. That's an interesting way to start the movie.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, it was like to the second of like him breathing, 40 minutes of you doing this, and he goes, boom, and he's like, just shoots a fucking woman. No, totally the wrong target.
Jesus. Did he go back and finish the target?
No, he couldn't.
No, he just took
didn't
off.
have time. No, the other guy left.
Ah, jeez.
I was like,
loser.
What the fuck? Okay, anyways. Much more important, I think, just in the scope of, I don't know, the world. Everybody needs to see this fucking movie. I think it's on rental right now. It's on Amazon on rental. It's called Dumb Money.
Oh, this is about. Is this about GameStop?
Yep, it's about the GameStop stock.
Oh,
that
I heard
happened.
about this. Yeah, the GameStop stock explosion or manipulation or whatever. It was last year, 2 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't manipulation. It was a one person who just believed in the stock, and he wanted to show people that you can believe in a stock, and you don't have to like listen to hedge funds and. The other people are the fucking people manipulating it, right? The big companies and the banks are controlling it. This Carlos is in soapbox all of a sudden. They're controlling the stock market, and it's a bunch of bullshit. It's fucking smoke and mirrors. At some point, someone happened, like just a kid and not a guy, not a kid, an older guy with a wife and a kid. He just decided to believe in a stock and put a bunch of money behind it, and he got people excited about it, and it became a movement. Not an Occupy Wall Street thing, but basically like a real tangible thing where people could put money towards a stock. It started going up, and it freaked out a bunch of people who, without getting too much in the weeds, there's people who do short squeezes and stuff, and these weird, to your point, manipulative practices that happen in Wall Street. They were getting screwed. So big companies were losing tons of money, and the everyman and every woman were gaining money by betting on the stock.
Right.
That's the long and short of it. But it's actually like such a heartfelt story about how we, every person, can rise up, and we can actually make change in this world. I can't explain how special this movie is, even though it's a retelling.
Yeah.
And like what's his name's in it, like a bunch of famous actors and stuff. It's just done so well. It's funny. And it's heartfelt, and it's based, 100% on reality. And then later on the end of the movie, they show you some of the same scenes, right? So you know that it actually happened, just like you watched it.
Interesting.
Dude, it's really fucking special, especially the ending. Again, the ending is real life, right? It's a great message.
And this was on Netflix?
Amazon. You have to
Amazon,
rent
okay.
it. Yeah.
All right.
It's
Excellent.
very important, dude. I'm telling you. It's really
All right.
important.
All right.
Okay.
Right on. Right on. What else you got?
That's all I have. That's
Okay.
it.
What have I been watching? Watching the Great British Bake Off, which I alluded to earlier, and that is just like our safe space away from the world. A lot of
Yes.
bad stuff going on, and when we need to just chill for a second, it is just like the most relaxing thing. I mean, honestly, we've watched everything up until this point, and we're caught up, and now we're going week to week, which sucks completely. But we're like, maybe we should just go back to season 1 and just watch it again, because it is just so fucking chill to watch people bake muffins and cakes and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
And they're
comfort.
just like, yeah, it's mega comfort. So we're watching that. That's pretty good. What else are we watching? We went back to Ted Lasso. Season 3. Is season 3 the end of the show?
I think I've watched the end of this show.
Like, is it
season
over?
4? I don't know. I feel like it's.
No.
I feel like the series is done.
I felt like it. I don't know for sure, but I thought I heard them saying it was over.
I think it's
at
over.
the end
over,
of season 3, which would make sense because I mean, there's only so much you can do with this. But we love Ted Lasso season 1 and 2. We took a break, came back to season 3. I believe all the episodes are out, which is why we're watching it now. And we're just really, that's another like comfort show where people are generally good. They have issues, bad things happen, but they kind of talk them through. Pretty human. And one episode in specific was the Amsterdam episode. Do you remember this episode?
I mean, I don't know the name of it, but what?
I don't know that it's called, but
What they're in Amsterdam?
yeah, they're in Amsterdam. Like the soccer team goes to Amsterdam. They're on a losing streak. They lose again,
yeah.
and then they go and they're like, "Fuck, we just need a break. Let's just go crazy here in Amsterdam." And then the show follows like everybody going off to do. It's like 9 different storylines, people going off to do different things. And I had heard some people talk about the 3rd season of Ted Lasso being like, "Oh, it dragged on and they wasted too much time and they just like nobody was interested in this stuff and they lost their mojo." And like we're watching it and I'm like, "Are you crazy?" Like, I guess my point is, if you're watching Ted Lasso because you want to see an underdog sports team win the championship, you're watching the show for the wrong reason. Like, this is
Right.
not about that. It's about people. It's about the characters. It's about Ted dealing with his divorce and about what happens to his kid. It's about the gay guy who is in closet and he's not, open with himself. It's about team dynamics and how do you cheer people up when they're feeling down. And it's about boyfriend and girlfriend relationships between Roy Kent and whatever his girlfriend's name is. And it's just like,
she's so good.
yeah, like, I mean, everybody's good in this. And it's just like, I can't believe, like, we watched the Amsterdam episode and I think that was really the biggest hot or cold. Like, if you like the characters and you like the show, then you're like, oh my God, that was an amazing episode. But if you're in it just because you want to see sports ball and you want to see them win, then you're like, it's the worst episode because they didn't even kick a ball. And
Right.
that really kind of tells you what kind of viewer you are. And we loved it. I was like, oh man, I love this episode. This is so great. Just like a night out with all these characters doing all these different things. And they all go through this like growth moment and they all kind of relate to each other. Really excellent writing, really excellent character work, great acting. I mean, that to me is like really what we like the best about Ted Lasso. So
Yeah.
I was really happy to see that. And I'm glad we came back to it. So it's good stuff.
Real quick thing, there is talk about them doing a season 4. I hope they don't. Actually, I think it's over. I'd like it to be over. Sometimes it's too much of a good thing,
Yeah, exactly.
And that woman, his name is Juno Temple. She's so good, and she plays
Yeah.
Keely.
Keely, that's
Yeah,
what it is.
Keely.
Keely, yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It's a character piece, and it's awesome.
Yeah, she is really good. And the boss, I forget what the boss's name is, but the tall blonde
And
lady.
Coach Beard and
Coach Beard and the assistant. Like, everybody on the show is just fucking great. So I
Yeah.
just love that. We also came back to Disenchanted. Disenchanted, season 5, I think, dropped a while ago. And I know you probably watched it already, I'm sure.
You mean Disenchantment?
Oh, fuck. I was back as well. Disenchantment.
Yes, I've finished the thing, and What do you think?
Well, we haven't got to there yet because my
Okay.
wife had not watched it. Me and my son watched season 1 through 4 and we loved it. And I'm like, I bet my wife would kind of like this. Like, it's not usually her jam, but I'm like, I bet she would connect. And so we're like, let's just watch it all again because we just really enjoyed it. And the episodes are short anyway. So we watched it. We're up to season 4 now. And like the wife is on board. She digs it. We all dig it. So I'm very excited to get to season 5, which is the new stuff we haven't gotten to yet. So no spoilers for me, but it's still really good. And I definitely recommend it. I know we talk about that fairly often on this podcast, but
Yeah.
if you haven't watched Disenchantment
Yep.
yet, you should be watching it for sure.
It's really special, I think. Yep.
Yeah, it's really good. Nothing else. It's been a busy week. I don't have anything else to contribute. So there you go.
All right. That's
it. Folks, that's a show. Oh, man. Before we close, please leave reviews, share us on social media. Most important of all, recommend us to your friends. That's the real most important thing. If you like a show, just tell someone. Tell someone you like what we do. And if you don't like what we do, let us know. Or if you do like what we do, please let us know that as well. And how you do that is through your questions and your comments. Hit us up, sovideogamespodcast@gmail.com, or you can also reach us individually. Carlos, where are we directing your traffic this week, sir?
I think I'm just going to say Glitch to the Ground forever. But yeah,
Okay.
That's where you should go. Glitch to the Ground on TikTok and on the YouTube.
All right. As for me, it's always Blue Sky, Twitter, and Instagram for the moment. It's my name, BradGallaway, all A's, no O's. And this is going to do it for episode 362. Thank you so much again for joining us here on the So Video Games podcast. And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.